Live from the Schmoes Know Network Studios in Los Angeles, California, it's time for the Schmoes Know Movies Show. Tonight, a discussion of sci-fi movies. And it's time to play the game. The game returns with an ultimate challenge with Scott Mantz, John Schnepp, Samm Levine, and Mark Reilly going head-to-head in the game. And now, here's your hosts, Tiffany Smith, Alicia Malone, and Kristian Harloff.
Hello, Schmoeville. What an introduction from the pit boss. It is going to be a fun show tonight, and Mark Ellis is out at the Pittsburgh Improv. Not here, but I don't care because I'm joined by two lovely, lovely ladies.
Thank you.
First, to my right, is the lady who's been with us for a very, very long time, our co-host, our co-pilot, my co-pilot on Far, Far Away, and that is DC All Access's Tiffany Smith.
Yeah, I feel like I'm exhausted because there was so much good movie news happening
today. Just today, yeah.
So I'm kind of like in this weird euphoria at this moment.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that as well. And joining me on the table is the lovely Alicia Malone from AMC Movie Talk.
Hello.
And Schmoes. What's going on,
Give him
lady?
that shoulder.
I was just listening to
Did you see what I called you on AMC Movie Talk today?
Minx.
I called you an Aussie minx.
Aussie Minx. I heard that. Someone tweeted me that, and I was like, ooh, I'll take that.
I did, because you said something about your show for AMC Independent, and I had looked, and what did you say at the very end? There's something that you said at the end, and I just quoted you and called you an Aussie minx.
Puppies.
We've got puppies? Sure. Going to be a great show tonight. The whole crew is going to get involved in our science fiction discussion, because the reason we did that is with Interstellar coming out and a lot of talk with the links. A lot of people saying this could be Nolan's 2001 and
The Right Stuff.
Yeah, The Right Stuff, and it could be one of those movies that is a lot of discussion about this film, and in the same way that like Blade Runner kind of caught on later on, this might be one of those movies. I'm still trying to process it. I'm not.
You have
listen,
to see it a few times.
I think so.
Process it.
I'm not going to tell you that my score is not going to change in about a year, 2, 3 years from now. However, as of today, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell that this. I don't want to spoil it for
That's
anybody.
why we didn't put it in our Fast Five in our Christopher Nolan profiles, because I feel like you need some distance from it. Watch it again, and then because I felt the same after Inception.
It's also one of those ones that I feel like there was so much hype surrounding it, and it's almost detrimental to the movie that it's like everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is going to be the greatest, coolest, most interesting, most intriguing thing ever."
Now I think it's gone the other way, and people are going in and going, "What are people talking about? It's not that bad."
Right. It's definitely it's not a bad movie.
No.
It's impossible to look at a filmmaker like Christopher Nolan and say that's a bad film. It's not a bad film. It
does a lot.
It is a really good film, it's just, when we do our spoiler review on it, and when we do our spoiler discussion on it, we'll be able to get more into that. So we decided that because of that, and a little other sci-fi news that dropped today, that we decided we would do an entire episode on all of our sci-fi movies. A whole crew put together a list, and you guys, to get involved in this conversation, make sure that you hashtag Schmoes Know. But one of the things that's coming back tonight is the game.
Yeah.
Now this is how this all went. If you're
the game that I'm not
no, you're not playing. But it's gonna.
I was high-fiving you. I was high-fiving
but I'm not playing either, so I can do it.
Okay, fine.
But listen. So the game is our longest bit that we've been doing. We started this in phase 2 of the show, and we've had some great players over the years, some really good players. And Mark,
it's definitely a unique skill.
It is so. If you don't know what the game is with the headphones on, you hear a clip from a movie, and you have to guess. And like I said,
any movie
anywhere
through all of time.
And we have had some battles. We've had some really good champions. Scott Mantz, co-host of Profiles,
my buddy,
had told me he wants to play the game. He wants to play, and I said, "Well, the best I've ever seen is Samm Levine." That's
and
good run.
Watched that the other day, and he's insane.
He's insane. And Scott Mantz said, "I want to challenge him." So not only did I put the challenge out to Samm Levine, to which he accepted no problem, I also put out to 2 other people, Mark Reilly, who is the Schmoes champion in Ultimate Schmoedown, but also really good at the game, as well as John Schnepp from AMC Movie Talk. So the Battle of the Titans will happen. Yeah. Normally, a good player can win the game in about 5 to 6 minutes. The last time Samm Levine played, he won in a minute and 47 seconds.
Insane.
A minute and 47 seconds. Makuga, you got something for us? Josh the Wild Man Makuga?
I texted you today. I was like, I'll give Samm Levine 1 to 8 odds, which means you bet $8 to win one. That dude, the second question in the game last time, he got in 3 seconds. He was like,
he heard the music.
He heard the music and got, and got.
Yeah.
It was 3 and out. Insane.
Yeah, 3 and out.
I
didn't
he's
even
an idiot
answer.
savant. He's an idiot savant.
I just went.
Are you terrified of Samm Levine?
Am I terrified?
Yeah.
I'm not terrified. I'm just hoping I can get one because I know I'm good.
Yeah.
However, this guy is a beast.
He's a quick
beast.
draw.
And he's a quick draw, and I don't think I don't
And
think
here's
I'm
the
gonna get
difference.
past him.
The difference with you is that if you go into this battle, right, and you lose, okay,
Yeah.
you're the Ultimate Throwdown champion. You've won the game a few times.
Sure.
Scott Mantz challenged Samm Levine and has never played.
Before they even knew what the game was. He was like, I'll do it.
If Scott can win, he'll be a god.
But here's
So
the thing, Scott, I feel like is the underdog where it's like, but he actually knows so much stuff. It's crazy. When you talk to him about film, you're like, wait, what?
I thought I knew dates for movies. I'm pretty good at that. I look like a simpleton compared to
He
Scott.
knows the days.
No, so he really does. But we're gonna have Scott. Scott's gonna come in a little bit to start to join in on our
He's also
discussion.
just really happy.
But what we do on this show, if you don't know, and make sure you guys are hashtagging Schmoes Know and tweet. Mark Reilly's in charge of the Twitter tonight. He'll be reading out your tweets. We are going to start with the pit boss. Like Tiffany said, huge news day.
Huge day.
News day. Let's see what the pit boss got. JTE, let's get the pit boss going. Thanks.
Okay, that's talking these your Schmoes Know headlines brought to you by schmoesknow.com, your source for movie news, reviews, and clues. Breaking late today, Pixar likes money. Variety was the first to gurgle that Disney head honcho Bob Iger announced that John Lasseter will be directing Toy Story 4 with a June 2017 release in mind. No plot details have yet to emerge, but whatever they are will eventually turn into a ride at California Adventure. We'll discuss more later. A week after we learned that Christian Bale will be playing Steve Jobs in Aaron Sorkin's yet-to-be-titled Jobs biopic, it was revealed this week that Bale has dropped out of the project, probably because he finally upgraded to iOS 8. Sources claim that after a deep soul-searching session that probably included yelling at a sound guy, Bale came to the decision that he was not right for the part and felt it better to withdraw now. Oh, good for you! Not to be deterred, director Danny Boyle Sorkin and the producing team are said to be eyeing Michael Fassbender for the role. The film is said to be based around Jobs preparing for key product presentation that changed the course of his career. The Mac, the Next, and the iPod. Though with Fassbender on board, one of those will probably be changed to the iPenis.
Look at
Christopher Nolan created a stir this week when he tried releasing a science fiction movie that didn't have laser swords in it. Also, the UK magazine The Guardian said in a profile piece this week that during the making of Man of Steel, Nolan told director Zack Snyder not to bother with adding a comedy piece after the end credits a la Marvel because, quote, a real movie wouldn't do that, end quote. This comment caused Fanboy Nation to rise up in anger, proclaim this a shot across the bow of Marvel. Then Nolan responded by saying, I wouldn't say that because I'm not a dick. I'm paraphrasing, but I think that's what he meant. The newspaper then corrected their article to say that Nolan, quote, said we shouldn't be chasing other movies, but stay true to the tone of Man of Steel. The tone being wiping out an entire city and making Superman a murderer. Meanwhile, the Guardian newspaper still gets to be in business despite having the reporting accuracy of a game of telephone at a 10-year-old's birthday party. Speaking of Man of Steel and murder, Michael Shannon, the man behind Zod, is signed on to play Elvis Presley opposite Kevin Spacey as President Richard Milhouse Nixon in the film Elvis and Nixon. The script, co-written by Hanala and Joey Segal and Carrie As You Wish Elwes, is based on the real-life meeting between the King of Rock and Nixon at the White House on December 21st, 1970, when Elvis showed up and demanded a meeting with the president because he wanted to be sworn in as an undercover federal agent at large, like you do. Elwes' brother Cassian Elwes is on the producing team and is coming up two well-received movies, Dallas Buyers Club and Lee Daniels the Butler. For the kids at home, President Nixon is the type of politician you tweet about hating but fail to actually vote out. McGovern 72, right, hippies? Liza Johnson is set to direct. Perhaps in an effort to take a break from web-slinging superheroes and their confusing collection of one-note girlfriends, director Mark Webb is eyeing a return to the more independent fare with Alan Loeb's script The Only Living Boy in New York. Miles Teller, fresh off earning his indie street cred with Whiplash, is said to be interested in joining the project, which would probably lead Webb to make this his film
before Fox searchlights The Gifted, which he's also attached to. The Only Living Boy in New York, also the title of an emotional gut punch of a Simon and Garfunkel song, is about a son who discovers that his father is having an affair and becomes involved with the same woman after trying to stop the tryst, which sounds like good dating advice to me. For Webb, this will be his first non-spoiler Spider-Man film since 500 Days of Summer, or as the movie's called in my house, my 20s. Announced today, Mark Wahlberg is set to reunite with Lone Survivor director Peter Berg for a modern, big-screen update of the classic TV show $6 Million Man. The movie will be called The $6 Billion Man to account for inflation. The movie was in development a few years ago under the title The Government Bailout Man. No. The main cast for Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight was announced. Tarantino main players Sam Jackson, Kurt Russell, Tim Roth, and Michael Madsen will be joined by Jennifer Jason Leigh, Bruce Dern, Walton Goggins, Damian Bichir, and Channing Tatum. Channing Chat. Filming begins in early 2015 after all the actors learn how to say curse words that make your mother cry. The final trailer for The Hobbit, The Battle of Five Armies, was released, and despite still being able to see some of the beard glue on the dwarves, and at times there being better CGI in the Shadows of Mordor video game, this grouchy news jerk has deemed this trailer to be worthy of your allowance. Giants, battles, intrigue, character swerves, Gandalf got a boo-boo, Legolas' dreamy eyes, it's all there. The 2.5-minute clip makes the movie look like an epic should look. Epic. The Elf-tastic final film hits theaters December 17, 2014, which is almost exactly 1 year before a certain space opera movie is set to hit screens in 2015. A space opera that now has a title, as Disney Lucasfilm said surprise this morning while you're eating your Cookie Crisp cereal, and released the long-awaited title of Star Wars Episode VII. So welcome to the world, Star Wars The Force Awakens, which sounds like the best Nintendo 64 Star Wars game never released. Sorry, I mean Star Wars The Force Awakens, which sounds like the fan fiction story your mailman wrote. Sorry, I mean Star Wars The Force Awakens, which translated into English means don't worry about the title, nerd, you're still going to give us your cash. And finally, Anthony Daniels, a.k.a. the man who will voice C-3PO for anything you want him to, gave a glimpse into how great he feels Star Wars The Force Awakens will be by tweeting, "No movie sequel is better than Empire Strikes Back. You might eat those words for Christmas dinner in 2015. Joy and indigestion to the world." End tweet. This has caused J.J. Abrams and Disney to order a ball gag placed into Daniel's mouth, though I have a feeling that's not the first time for Daniels. I'm Ken Napzok, and those are your Schmoes Know headlines. Brought to you by Schmoes Know.
Kenny, knocking it down like he always does.
I feel like now I'm only going to hear the title that way.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now I have cops here for a reason. Now there was a exchange that happened. By the way, if you guys don't know this already, the fans, you guys have created your own fan page, which is Schmoeville with an exclamation point on Facebook. That there's a live chat. Every Thursday night, you guys do a live chat. You discuss everything going on. So this character over here, I don't really agree with JT in life. But today he wrote something that I said, you know what? He's right. I agree with him. I think people are going nuts about, why another Toy Story? Why are we doing another Toy Story? And you were one of those people. Yes. Why? Because the first three were awesome.
Yeah.
The first three were awesome.
You trust in Pixar.
You trust in them. The characters are great. Yes, so far. So the end ended great in the third one. Yes, so did the second one.
But I feel like when you say it's going to be the final one, then you're like, just kidding.
Did they ever say it was the final one?
I'm pretty sure that when it came out that it was the last one.
Wait, Reilly, before we let Copster, maybe not even let him defend at this point, but Reilly, what do you got?
No, a year ago, my co-host, Jeff Snyder, reported exclusively that Buzz Lightyear, Tim Allen, was roped in for a fourth movie. Mm-hmm. Nobody picked up on that.
Yeah.
And it was being planned. And today he went, hey guys, told you.
Yeah.
It was going to happen.
And Reilly's talking about Meet the Movie Press, by the way, on the Schmoes Know Network. If you want to check out all this, you have Reilly and Jeff Snyder talking about all these movie stories. They break scoops all the time. You check that out on the network, youtube.com/Schmoes Know Podcast. But Tiff, you're saying?
I would have much rather had them say, like, we maybe will do another one, and found out about, Tim Allen being tied in, which apparently wasn't kept very secret, than to come back and everyone feels like it's the last one. Yeah. I think that's what pulled your heartstrings so much more,
But if you're a fan, though, it's a good movie. That's
I
a
am
whole
a fan, though. I
And
am
the
a fan,
statement that
though.
they put out, John Lasseter said it was going to be even better than anything they've done before. So that makes me excited because Toy Story 3 was pretty good.
Yeah.
Defend yourself, man.
Well, for me, look, I did lash out at the first thing because I had seen a site posted. I'm like, no. For me, it was such a great conclusion that you don't need any more. And
Yeah.
I've gotten conversations with
But
people.
money.
Yeah, of course, but even that, like, I'm gonna go see the movie. I think it's gonna be great, and they got the director from the
Why
first
wouldn't
two
you wanna
Toy
see
Story.
it then?
I just don't need any more. The first three were great how they were. It'd be like if no
So
one
you don't
came
need any
back.
more Star Wars movies then?
No, but that's different
Why?
because Star Wars needs to be revitalized because of the prequels.
But it's continuing on from episode. It's continuing
But it's Star
from
Wars.
episode. Yeah, that's
It's different
Yeah,
than Toy Story.
but Toy
still,
Story.
like
But
Toy
Toy
Story
Story.
was great, just 1, 2, and 3. I just don't really need to see any more of those to be
No,
honest.
but it's Hollywood now, and
Yeah.
this is how
That's
they
what
make
happens.
money.
All right, let's talk about. Sorry, get out of here. So we're Star Wars now. We the title is out. We talked about
I
it.
didn't know they
I
were
don't
asleep.
understand why people are so like upset and in uproar about this title, like making jokes left and right. I'm like, I don't think it's a bad title. I like it.
The more and more I hear it, I like it. I think
It's
because
simple, it's clean.
But to be fair, you and I talk about episode 7 every week.
Yeah.
On Monday, every week we talk about it.
Yep.
So we have
Long,
a lot
far,
of
far away.
Yeah, we have a lot of things that we kind of heard and things. For us, hearing this title, it makes sense for
Yeah.
all the stuff we've been talking. A
Yeah.
lot of people may not know about it. So, Makuga, you hear this title of Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and what are your initial thoughts?
Well, I mean, the first thought is the dick joke of it all. I mean, 'cause that's like the
Right.
go-to. That's the easy.
Hey, my
joke.
Force Awakens,
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
See you at the after hour show.
But as I'm thinking about it, because I love Star Wars, and as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, when it ended. It was basically like the Force was over. Like it was, it wasn't over, but I mean, Luke was the only one. I mean, it wasn't. So now that we're into episode 7, it's like the Force is making this huge comeback.
Well, I think what
and
it
it's
means. What I think it means.
Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, that's true. It's been here for years. I think that we've been talking about with Luke, and I can't remember who. Maybe it was Drew McWeeny. It was somebody we were talking to. It makes sense if you think about it. At the end of episode 6, Luke had really seen everything that went down with Vader and the Emperor and how the Force had almost corrupted everybody. So he's just going, you know what? I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. I'm going to take the Force with me and I'm just going to go away. And in that time, there were other Force sensitive people being born, and they've just kind of had no guidance.
Well, you even look at taking Rebels, if anybody's watching Rebels right now, where it's like the Force people aren't like, the Jedis are not out in the open, and there's a kid who's learning that he has the Force, and so it's like, okay, yeah, they are putting a like string through all of these, and I think that's the perfect starting point for it.
Well, Reilly, you're a big Star Wars guy. What do you think?
I love the title.
You love the title.
Immediately when I heard it, I thought it was perfect.
Yeah. Why is that?
It did, all your points are I totally agree with. We had this conversation today, and then I was talking to some of my buddies, and it was like
You guys look like the three amigos right now. Sorry.
Yeah.
I know. It's like,
Yeah.
ready, guys?
Nice.
No, I just really like it because I think I'm from what I've heard that I do not share on the.
Come on. Let the guys.
Yeah, from what I hear and that I don't share on the website because they're spoilers, is that I feel like it's Luke. And he's going to like reawaken the Jedi Order, maybe build it in this movie.
See, I think
that's
it's a
what
lot.
I'm getting, and I'm also feeling like maybe he's been training on the side.
I think the Force Unleashed, because they didn't say the Jedi Awakens. They said the Force.
The Force.
I
Could
think
be
that
bad
That's
guys, good
both
guys.
sides.
I think it's everything, and
Yeah.
I think because we've already seen this rule of 2 with the Sith, I think the Sith army is going to come back.
Yeah.
Whether or not it comes back in episode 7, I don't know. Episode 8,
Sounds
episode 9,
cool.
all
Yeah.
this stuff could happen. But I want to talk to Kenneth Maximus over there. What are you? So you had an interesting text this morning, and you said it was kind of by the numbers title, which you didn't necessarily not like, but you just
Yeah.
thought it was kind of by the numbers.
Yeah, thanks for telling everyone I'm grouchy. Now I get messages all week. Yeah, it's not
People
a bad
are
title.
surprised that you're grouchy when you do the
Yeah.
news every week.
I know. Look, it's just not a dynamic title to me. It sounds like a video game.
But
It
could
sounds
it-
like
but could it
a
win-
Star Wars comic book that was not canon.
Now, if you see the trailer, by the way, the trailer is going to hit December 25th in front of Into the Woods.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed. I'm telling you right now, put your money on it.
Agreed.
So you see this trailer, and it knocks you out of the park, and you're able, it's going to be a teaser, we know this, but when you see this teaser, and then you go, oh, wait a minute. Okay, is it possible that what they show in the teaser could change your opinion on the title making more sense?
You and I talked this morning. One of the
You were very grouchy when we talked this morning.
Always, because you're usually bothering me. But one of my favorite things of the prequels is the name, The Phantom Menace. I love that title. I actually think it is.
You're the guy.
Because I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Because it actually is what it is. It's a Phantom Menace that no one can see.
Yeah.
So I understand we probably get
Defend Attack of the Clones, sir.
there is no defense because the clones attack. They do not attack. It's not a bad title. People don't assume that I think it's bad. I just think, all right, that sounds like Star Wars.
I'm just glad it's not a dawn of something or
Right.
a rise of something or
Yeah.
an edge of something.
Do we think that, and Reilly and I talked about this morning, do we think that George Lucas had any say in this title? And if he didn't, this is his only title that he has not come up with?
No
I
idea.
wouldn't be surprised if like some names got tossed as like we're thinking about this, or this, and then it's like everyone really likes this one, and he's like, cool, I like that one too.
Hey guys, can you use an ancient fear? Yeah, we'll leak that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was the one everyone
That
thought
one
it
got
was
leaked.
going to be.
Yeah, but how about you guys out there, Schmoeville? Go ahead and tweet #Schmoes Know. What do you think of the title of The Force Awakened?
Sounds cool. I want to hear it in a trailer voice.
Yeah, I
of
want to see.
course.
And by the way, we're giving away a bunch of stuff tonight, Paramount, and we'll talk about that. You know, Reilly, can we put a link for schmoesknow.com? What we'll do, our first contest, we will actually, I know that Reilly had written something on the Paramount Post. Can you tell a little bit about what they're getting?
Yeah, they're getting. So we have 3 prizes to give away.
Yeah.
I got it. So in the comment section, I'll tweet that out. Is come up with your best story. It's a Hercules Blu-ray.
Right.
Extended edition. You cannot have it, Tiffany.
I saw it on the floor when I walked in.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
So your best story,
Watch it with
if
the
you
tongue.
so in the comment section on the website schmoesknow.com under the post, your best story if you had the powers of Hercules, what would you do?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Save one of the contests, but tell me the next one.
And the main prize, which is a big package of a Brett Ratner signed DVD. Nice Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Package that gets you. Okay.
You're the one that had the tongue out.
Yeah.
And I get yelled at for the Force Awakens dick joke.
I know.
I said morning lightsaber.
Oh boy! And all right, we're going off the rails, folks.
All right. Stay on target.
Let me just say, it's a big package.
Big package. There you go.
For the winner who calls in tonight and picks the winner of the game.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So if you pick either Scott Mantz, Samm Levine, John Schnepp, or Mark Reilly, if you pick correctly, you win this package. Now
I'm sorry that I'm a child sometimes.
Now, lastly, what we're going to do right now, Mark Reilly is going to tweet this out. It's going to say, join us on the live show right now. And he'll post that link. All you have to do is retweet it. We will pick one of the people who retweets it, and you will win not an autograph, just a regular Blu-ray of Hercules. So make sure, courtesy of Paramount Pictures. So make sure you do that. Reilly's tweeting that out right now. So
Speaking of
be on the
package,
lookout.
Fassbender.
That's like you get all excited. That penis
Steve
joke was
Jobs.
made.
I think that could be good.
You think it could be good?
Could be, but it worries me. We were talking about this the other day.
His accent's not. He can't. It's hard for him to hide that accent.
But I thought he did pretty good with Frank, even though he had a giant head on the whole time.
But it's still it comes and goes.
But it worries me how many people are dropping out of this movie
Right.
because I can't imagine it's bad. It's Aaron Sorkin's script, Danny Boyle directing.
Right.
But you had Leo say no, and now Christian Bale as well. So
What is it? What can that be?
I cannot see Fassbender in this role at all.
I think he's pretty
Like,
good at transformation.
The thought of seeing him as
the
Steve
turtleneck?
Jobs, like Christian Bale, I was like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that I just see him as Magneto from now.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
that's
it's
all
true,
I see
too.
him as.
What's wrong with Cougar?
No, I just don't think nobody. You see a Steve Jobs
Tremendous
movie.
mustache, by the way.
Thank you.
November.
You see a Steve Jobs movie, you're already walking into a risk, and these actors all want a shot at an Oscar, and there's like a limited time here, and Aaron Sorkin, it doesn't matter. It's a Steve Jobs movie. You already seen it. We already know. Like, go do a Neil Diamond movie. That's what we all want to see. No, I'm kidding. Well, Steve Jobs, it's over. It's done. We know it.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree.
You could say the same. Why couldn't you say the
It's a
same thing
good
about Ray
story.
Charles or
There wasn't
Johnny
a billion.
Cash?
There wasn't a billion Ray
Stephen
Charles movies. There wasn't.
Hawking.
There's not a billion. There's one movie that no one saw.
Yeah, but everybody knows the Steve Jobs story. It's a modern thing. Nobody knew Ray. Nobody knew John Cash. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stephen
I think
Hawking.
it's also
But
that
this-
even if the movie wasn't good, it's like people are like, didn't one just like come out? Like, if that question comes up when a new movie is being pushed, I think automatically you have stuff going against
Right.
you, even
Okay.
if it's epic actors and directors and writers.
No more news. We're done. Now we're gonna do today.
We didn't even talk about The Hobbit.
Yeah, someone did somewhere.
Oh, Mark Webb.
So what? Someone did somewhere.
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit. It's a great trailer.
Oh my God.
Listen, it's a great trailer. It's awesome. But today, it's more about just the news. Today, we want to do sci-fi movies. Tiff, we finally get to talk about sci-fi movies. Now we have only about an hour to do this.
Oh man.
Oh man.
30 seconds.
Yeah. So it's you talking about The Hobbit for 30 seconds. Get out of here.
I'm saying right now.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna open up the discussion. It's gonna be, and it is awesome. We're gonna talk to everybody. Everybody came up with their list. Even Upham, I think. And we're gonna have 5. Upham, you know what? We're gonna let Upham start the conversation. Upham, get in here.
Whoa.
Come here. So we'll let Upham. I'm just kidding. No, sit down. No. Upham's gonna come here. So what we're gonna do is, real quick, Upham, you're gonna start us off, and then we're gonna bring in co-host of Profiles, Scott Mantz. We'll bring him in just a second. But you're gonna start us off. So you're gonna bring up one of the movies that's on your list. We will talk about this film. Schmoeville will talk about this film. Let's get into a discussion. Out of all the sci-fi movies that are out there, you have one that you can start us on. And you guys don't, by no means do these all have to be movies that we love. These are sci-fi movies in general. What was wrong with them? What was good with them? What was amazing? What you loved? What you didn't love? So he might say something that you're an idiot. Bring it on. Let's start the conversation. Upham.
All right.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I know. I'll go with probably Spielberg's one of his most underrated movies, Minority Report. That's like one of my favorite
It's on my
movies
list.
of all time. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, all right. Cool.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what do you love about Minority Report?
Just the story.
No,
sorry.
don't worry about the man on the camera.
It's weird up here.
Yeah.
I just love Tom Cruise's character, like his arc that he goes through, his big reveal at the end when he just loses it against Lamar. It's a great twist at the end. It's cool.
And
I like the futuristic world
Yeah.
it's set in. Yeah, Josh was doing that because it is cool.
Right.
And the eyeball with
eyeball?
what were you, a fetus when
the
that came out?
thing.
Yeah.
I was 10, I
abs.
believe. 10 or 11. Yeah.
10 or 11. Okay, so yeah,
Wow.
that was a movie I think that's kind of underrated. Thank you, Ups. Ups started us off. So what do you think about Minority Report?
I
Are you a
love
fan?
Minority Report, and I just remember when they send out the robots searching for him.
Yeah.
And he's like against the wall, and it is searching everybody's eyes. Like I felt
intense.
so
Yeah.
scared
Yeah.
and panicked. And I just think, again, the technology that they used, you look back at stuff and you're like, there's stuff that's similar to that now, where it's like, those were things that I'm sure they talked to scientists and guys developing the technology back then. They're like, eventually it could be here. Obviously it wasn't there then. But I mean, Tom Cruise, I just think that he is so underrated a lot of times, and I think that's why his movies
He's always
kind of
pushing up a big boulder up a hill every time because he's Tom Cruise and he's always got to get over that. But yeah, when he shows up in these big movies, he shows up. But let's not forget that this is the first time we were really introduced to Colin Farrell.
that's true.
That's when they all came and they said, "Look at this guy! This guy's gonna be your next movie star." And he's one of the few guys that has gotten past that, in my opinion, because they did that with Sam Worthington and Taylor Kitsch. And for me, even though Colin Farrell doesn't necessarily do the best roles all the time, he's always solid. And there's no difference in this movie. He was kind of the guy who was chasing Tom Cruise.
Yep.
But to give his opinion on Minority Report as well as some other movies, I want to bring to the table someone who is newer to Schmoeville, but
So excited.
he has fit in. He has fit on just like a glove, and he is the man. The Mantz man. He's the
Spider-Man, does whatever a Spider-Man
Let's bring the now.
So familiar.
That's right. The Mantz man.
Now
Now,
I'm
if you
sitting
guys
in a
don't
chair.
know, co-host of Profiles with Alicia Malone. Now he has done the two of these guys have both done some great stuff for the network.
You
They've
got the
gotten.
sinky chair.
Yeah, you talk about Interstellar. You guys interviewed Nolan himself on the show.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
You had, you had some great. You talk about another sci-fi movie. You guys talked to Doug Liman. You guys have done some great stuff. And I know, Mantz, you're a huge sci-fi guy.
Huge sci-fi guy.
So before we get into one of the movies on your list, let's talk about Minority Report.
Minority Report?
Yeah.
When did it
Hold
come
on,
out?
JT. Can we? I think Mantz's mic is a little hot. If we can bring that down, or maybe
A little hot?
Yeah,
You
it's a little
good?
hot.
What was
a
the
little hot.
date?
Okay, it came out in June of 2002, and
See?
it followed Vanilla Sky, which came out in 2001, December 14, 2001. It also followed AI, Artificial Intelligence,
Right.
which
Boom,
was
boom, boom.
Spielberg's
Yeah,
prior movie.
right.
But Minority Report would not have existed without my favorite sci-fi movie
What do
of
you
all
got?
time, which is Blade Runner.
You
Yeah,
love
Blade
Blade
Runner.
Runner. But you initially didn't like it, right?
I did not like
Right.
it because when it came out on June 22nd,
Say, I watched Profiles.
1982,
insane.
right, come on. when it came out on June 22nd, 1982, I was 13 years old.
Okay.
And it came out the same month as Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan,
Right.
Poltergeist, E.T.,
Wow.
The Thing,
Good year.
Right.
and Tron. All these movies came out the same month. And I was like, oh boy, Harrison Ford in a sci-fi movie. This is going to be awesome. And then I saw it. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Right.
I was bored.
So you can see where my point was going with how Interstellar kind of could play into that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was going to say something when I was on the couch, but I was doing this thing called restraint, which I'm usually not very good at.
No.
I'm not good at restraint.
Right. No.
And I'm not good at sitting in a chair. Alicia, you are so tall right now.
I know. You got the sinky
You got the
one.
Hobbit
I got the
chair.
Hobbit chair. I
That's
got the
just
Hobbit chair.
All right, so-
but here's what happened
yeah.
with Blade Runner. I moved out to LA on December 21st, 1991, and I saw Blade Runner at the New Art Theater, and they took away the voiceover, that Harrison Ford
Oh, yeah,
voiceover.
it's so much better without the voiceover.
Without
It's so much better without the voiceover. They added in one 30-second scene where Deckard is dreaming of a unicorn.
Right.
So that really played into the fact that Deckard is a replicant.
Right.
But the point is that it's been like 9 years since I'd seen the movie.
Yeah.
And I gained a lot of perspective about film.
Yeah.
And I got it.
Yeah,
And my mind
I
was
just
blown.
love
Let's
the.
right. Oh, sorry.
So I was just going to say, I love the cinematography of that movie.
Blade Runner.
The light, the shadows, the fog. It all looks
It's
so
darker,
cool.
and a lot of people don't, aren't. It's that one is. It's definitely a film lover's film for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a Ridley Scott movie that if you have not checked out, you should check it out. It's definitely one of those sci-fis that always gets brought up when you're talking sci-fi. But Reilly, what's your overall thoughts on Blade Runner? You a fan?
God, I love it.
You do love it.
It's one. Yeah. It's if we're talking top 5 sci-fi movies, it's in there.
Yeah,
It's in
me
there.
too.
It's absolutely brilliant. The mood, the direction, the acting. I love the different
Yeah,
cut that he
Harrison's
brought in that Ridley
Yeah.
Scott did. I buy all of them.
Right, what
like
about-
I want to know
The
all of
end
them.
scene, the tears,
Yeah,
the rain.
JT
Tears and Rain.
Eat of the Rock. Did you? Did you? Are you a Blade Runner fan? Do you like that movie? I know you're a big film guy too.
Yeah, it's one of those movies I didn't really love at first, but
Right.
as I grew older and I grew more appreciation for film, I definitely really liked it.
And do you think that also because you just saw Interstellar? Do you think maybe that could be the same type of movie?
I don't know.
You don't know,
more
you're
in
still
line,
fresh.
It's more in line with 2001 than Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Here's my thoughts about Interstellar. When we saw it and we sat right next to each other.
No
me and
spoilers,
Alicia-
no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
We both looked at each other when the movie was over and we're like, wow, that was some movie.
Right.
But how do you wrap your head around a movie like that the first time you saw it? You said yourself you didn't get Inception the first
No.
time you saw
Yeah.
it. So isn't Interstellar...
I think those are different, though.
2001 as
Yeah.
well.
think
I didn't get to
It's a different. I understand this conversation will definitely happen next week for sure
Yeah.
because it has
They're
to
different
happen.
films. They're different
films.
films.
But all right, let's. I want to move on to some other. Riley, are you looking through? I want Schmoeville to put some of their movies out there as well. Hashtag Schmoes Know and tell us some of the sci-fi movies you want to talk about. Are they doing it already, Riley?
Yeah, they
All
are.
right, what do you got?
What do they got?
Like, I got some Blade Runners here.
Yes, Blade Runner.
One that's popping up.
Let's get them started. Yeah.
One that's popping up a lot. Alien.
Alien. First,
The
That's
original.
fun.
The original.
1979. Ridley Scott, another Ridley Scott movie.
Yeah. How hot was it outside,
that.
Scott?
It was 95 degrees.
95
What were you
degrees.
wearing the first time you saw that?
Tiffany, are you a fan of Alien or Aliens or neither?
I am
You don't
a
like-
huge
you-
fan.
you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched I think that was one of the ones that I saw with my parents when I was younger, like one of the first scary kind of creepy ones I was allowed to see. And I just remember the scene where
Another
in the
Ridley
original
Scott
one
film.
where
Yeah.
they walk into the medical examining room and it's come off the face and they're like, where is it? And it falls on her and I was like, oh my god.
And
Yeah,
was
it
a
plays like a horror.
It
Yeah.
does. The first,
much more
the
like a
first
horror.
one is more of a horror film, a smaller,
That's why I like
creepy. They're very different movies. The James Cameron Aliens has more of that action feel to what he's so good at.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question for you. You don't like scary movies.
No.
But you loved Alien.
I know.
Interesting.
It's different
It's
though.
different. That's
doesn't
the
have
sci-fi.
suspense.
That's that sci-fi element though. From
Suspense.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite Hitchcockian, like we're
Yeah.
talking about, because you don't see the alien for
Yeah.
a lot of the.
It's a great point.
The movie.
Let's.
It's like
You
the
talk about
Jaws.
scary movies and horror movies again.
Yeah.
Without going too much into it, I tortured myself today and went to see Ouija. Right. But the
Poor thing.
But the difference is now with horror movies that when you have the lazy storytelling and the sloppy directing and just the
And the
paint by
scared
numbers.
jumps.
But when you have a director like Ridley Scott, putting
Yeah.
it, no matter what genre, because Ridley Scott has done a lot of different genres. Even if you go to the fantasy genre, to when he did Legend, he puts different stamps from this filmmaker.
Look
that's
at
doing
Thelma and Louise, Gladiator.
Right.
Incredible.
So I can
Crazy.
understand it. You're more of the process of the film and a
Yeah.
good movie.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter what the genre was, as long as
Exactly.
you were getting
like
fulfilled.
I like The Conjuring, even though that scared the pants off me because
Right.
it was really well made.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm more partial
the fans
to Aliens.
love that it scared the pants off.
I'm more
All right,
partial
yeah.
to
had no
Aliens
pants.
Yeah.
over Alien. I love Alien. Alien, but Aliens. What I loved about it, other than the fact that it was a lot more entertaining and action-packed than it was James Cameron, is that it was an allegory for Vietnam. It was an allegory for Vietnam. Right. The spaceship looked like a helicopter that they used in Vietnam. The aliens, here we go in with all this technology, and we can't snuff them out, so to speak. And it's brilliant because it's so subtle. Yeah. Well, it's also incredibly entertaining. Let her go, you bitch.
Yeah,
Come on!
Good stuff. All right, Ken Zapnock. He's talking right now. But Zapnock, do you want to give us one of the movies to get us going?
Star Wars, let me guess.
Yeah, The Last Starfighter. No.
That's a great one. But why not? Why not talk about the Starfighter? That's a great one. Last Starfighter.
Oh, yeah, I didn't mean that as a joke at all. Disgusting.
The Last Starfighter.
It's actually really clever.
They've talked about remaking that movie.
I think it's perfect to remake it.
A handful of times. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about it for people who don't know it and why Guilty Movie Pleasures hasn't done it yet.
Yeah,
but talk about a little bit about The Last Starfighter.
Well, it was in 1984, right, Mantz?
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Guilty pleasure.
1984. I was a young boy. I was like 9, so this movie really spoke to me. This guy played. He's in a trailer park. He's not down on his luck, but he's got a kind of a normal life. He's plunking quarters into this video game called The Last Starfighter. He's so good at it.
Really good. And his brother's name was Lewis.
That's right. He wins the game, and by winning the game, this old dude shows up and says, "Get in my car," and he's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And he's whisked away to be the last starfighter to defend this faraway land.
It's so good. It's really good.
I only saw it for the first time about 3 months ago.
And did it hold up?
And I still really liked it.
It's
But I think
cheesy
it
as all
should
hell.
get remade because of the technology used in it.
Yeah.
But it's cool, the basis of the story.
And Schmoeville, can you guys tweet out and let me know if you've ever seen The Last Starfighter? Just as easy as saying, I have seen it, I have not seen it, and hashtag it Schmoes Know.
One of the best moments is because he has a younger brother, they leave like a clone of the main character.
Right. He's just and
there's a freaky moment where the younger brother like rolls him over in bed, and it's a clone is still forming.
Right.
And
wow, you're bringing back memories.
It's
Great.
up there with Large Marge of something that scared me as a child.
I love that you were goofing around, yet got us into a discussion about The Last Starfighter. All right, Wildman, you got one for us or what?
Well, I was going to say, I was going to say, Ken, we talked about you coming on Guilty Movie Pleasure, so in
Last
2 weeks, you come on and we do Last Starfighter.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought I was going to do Spice World with Alicia.
Yeah, Spice World.
That's a good one, too.
Spice World is good. Spice World is like a hard day's night.
And it's also All right, stay on target.
Sorry.
Stay on target.
Got it.
All right, let's get you down. What movie do you want us to talk to? What's Sounds good.
I love movies that show the end of the world, not in like an apocalyptic kind of way.
Yeah.
And not zombie and not whatever. I love the movie Children of Men.
Yes!
Yes.
Good one.
Yes!
JT
That
loves
one is
that movie.
incredibly
It came out
underrated.
December 25th, 2006.
It's a Christmas movie.
Clive Owen.
December 26th is the birth of Jesus, and the movie is about
It
a
is?
birth. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Things that make
Man.
you go,
Now wait a minute.
What?
So I just gotta hear this as he's screaming out this stuff. If you're a Schmoevillian, you gotta feel confident in if Samm Levine gets taken right away. You gotta feel confident with a man's pick.
The game isn't dates.
But
It's not dates. But he still picks up stuff pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know that.
Yeah.
But all right, so Children of Men is it's Alfonso
So
Cuarón.
underrated.
It's brilliant.
I need to watch it again because I didn't love it the first time I saw it.
I've
You
seen
should
it.
watch it again
I
because
just remember that was... Sorry, go ahead.
no, that movie when it came out, it was the last movie I saw that year. I saw it at a press screening at the Chinese Six on December 16th, and it was the last movie I saw.
He remembers when he sees the movie as well. It's crazy.
It was the last movie I saw before everybody just sort of went away for the holidays.
Yeah.
And when it was over, my friend had to literally peel me off the chair because I was so completely blown away by it. But that movie, and I wrote my review. It is the Blade Runner of the 21st century because it depicts the future. Technology has advanced, but the infrastructure has crumbled at the same time, and that's what happens.
It's a good one. Okay, I'm gonna.
It's like a standout for Clive Owen too. I remember like that movie coming out and everyone be like, "Oh my God, Clive Owen's gonna be the next huge thing."
Yeah.
And
Let's
then
be
it kind
honest.
of like faded a little bit.
The first movie he was best in for me is still it's not sci-fi, but is Closer. That was the one for me that rocked.
But that final shot of Children of Men, that long continuous shot with the baby, and the one beautiful thing that like is so underrated is when they go to a school, and the school is just it's a shell, and you don't. That's oh shit, there's no schools because nobody can go. It's over.
And when
That's a
the
great
baby
movie.
starts crying, all the other sound in the movie is taken out, and you just hear the baby crying.
Yeah.
And all the soldiers, they're like, "Oh my God, a baby!" And they put down their guns, and they're like, "Oh my God, somebody was born."
Yeah.
It's just so brilliant.
I have to go back. That's one I want to watch as well. Reilly, let's get a couple more tweets. What are people saying out there in Schmoeville? What are they tweeting?
I like this one. How about Starman?
Starman, Jeff
1984,
Bridges.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Now, Tiffany, have you ever seen Karen Allen, right?
I've not seen
Karen Allen,
Karen
yes.
Allen.
Karen
Yeah.
Allen.
John Carpenter.
I mean, it's John Carpenter.
John Carpenter, yeah.
The score for that movie's really good too. It's a really that movie's another one. I love these 1980s sci-fi movies that we're going
It was
into.
a good era.
Yeah, and
Sci-fi.
well, you know what? And it's also during the time Jeff Bridges is probably in his 30s or so, and
He was nominated.
Yeah, for Starman.
Yes, he was.
Wow, how about that?
Apples.
How about that? Yeah.
Yep.
So you get he's an alien, and it was almost. I don't remember a lot about it. Do you remember a lot about it?
I remember being, I was 15 when that movie came
Yeah.
out, and I didn't expect it to be a love story.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful love
remember that,
story
right.
because at first, of course, she's
And not creepy
scared
and
to
weird,
death
yeah.
of Jeff Bridges because she knows that he died, and she
Right.
knows that this guy is like
Oh,
kidnapping
right. He
her.
plays her husband.
Right.
Right.
She's like getting drunk every night because he died.
Right.
So then she sees him, and obviously something is off.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not really him. And then they have to go to the crater in Arizona because that's where he's going to get picked up.
Right.
But she falls in love with him along the way, and he learns what it's like to be human.
That's a good one.
It's a beautiful
All
movie.
right. Alicia, what do you got for yours? I know.
So you can probably guess.
I'm gonna go and say you're gonna guess 2001.
Yeah.
Yay!
I have to choose 2001:
Yeah.
A Space Odyssey, Stanley Kubrick, because that film has served as such an inspiration for a lot of sci-fi films that came after that, including Interstellar.
Yeah.
And it's one, like you were saying about Minority Report, it's one that was ahead of its time in terms of technology. You watch it now, you see someone using an iPad.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, back then, the look of the film, the production design, and it's a film that we discussed when we talked about Kubrick on Profiles, I didn't get for a long time.
Yeah.
I had to watch it again and again to kind of start to understand it, and I still can't quite understand it, but I like that.
It took literally decades for me to wrap my head around the scope of 2001. The movie is not about a computer that loses its mind and kills its crew. The movie is about the evolution of human consciousness.
Right.
Yeah.
So follow me here. Okay, so 4 million years ago,
Look at Ken.
okay, follow me here.
My
Ken's
mind
mind
Follow
is
me here,
exploded.
Pit Boss. Okay, I got this. Going to blow your mind.
I like
so,
lightsabers.
So you like lightsaber. You like the Last Starfighter.
This is what I like, films that make you debate and look into it and not quite understand
Yeah.
it and come up with theories, and it's perfect for that.
The theory of this film is that it's the evolution of human consciousness. So the apes, they get their consciousness from the monolith, and that's how they
And they can
survive.
do the tools
Okay,
and fight.
so now the monolith disappears. It's buried on the moon. Okay, now if humanity is intelligent enough to get to the moon, dig up the monolith, trace its beam to Jupiter, and find the monolith there. If they are
lost?
intelligent enough to do all of that,
Well,
if they are smart enough to get to the monolith around Jupiter,
Right.
then they will be worthy of advancing
And-
to the next stage
Yeah.
of their evolution,
Well,
Yeah.
which is what happens.
Well, obviously the Mantz man.
Love that one.
And well, the both of them.
I'm with
They,
the
not,
Mantz.
not
Al
only
9000 is such a great
and not
character.
only they did a whole thing on Kubrick, by the way. Go. Come on, you guys. I'm going to separate you from the table. So Profiles, by the way, and I'm plugging your show, you animals.
Yes.
If you go to youtube.com/Schmoes Know Podcast and you go to the Profiles playlist. You're a film fan, that's the show you should be listening to. Obviously, listen to Date Man over here. Now, Tiffany, let's talk about one of your movies. You have a list. What do you got?
I would love to talk about Sunshine.
Oh,
Love-
good choice.
What?
Good
What's-
choice.
Sunshine?
Which one? Yeah,
Danny Boyle.
Danny Boyle.
Oh, wow, you never seen it.
Cillian Murphy, Chris Evans, Rose Byrne. It is.
Tell me about it. I've
basically-
never seen
So
it.
basically, they have to go to the sun to explode the sun, and then also create a new star to save Earth. And in the process, they end up finding one of their other ships that was trying to do the same thing, and it got derailed. And so it's kind of like Alien in that way, where it's like there's some horror suspense aspects to it, but also like, how do you determine what's more important, saving one person or saving the entire race of humanity?
Wow, okay.
But I loved it. I think it's a beautiful film. There's moments where
Yeah.
it's like they're looking
It's
at the
very
sun and they
underrated.
talk
It is
about.
I've never seen it. Yeah.
Oh, it's really good.
All
The
right.
first 2/3 of that movie is very 2001.
Yeah.
And then the last third of the movie, it turns into a horror thriller.
Yeah,
It's
and the
very
thing that they
interesting.
do in that one that's so great is you never see the guy who is like, you never see
Pulling the
full
strings.
shots. It's like he's chasing them and the cameras, it's all blurred, and also because they've been looking at the sun,
Right.
and it's so intense that it's reason why everything is blurred. So it's really, really good.
Let's get the phone lines open here, because before we go to break in a little bit, I want to talk. I want to get Schmoeville to bring a couple movies. 424.
You're already getting nervous about
I'm
the
getting
game?
Don't get
for the
nervous.
game.
424-253-0504. Let's get some Schmoeville calls in. Put us on course. What sci-fi movie should we be talking about? We'll take one or two of your calls, and we'll end the conversation for the break until we get back, and maybe we'll have someone pick for the game as well. So, JT, you got those phone lines going? Are we ready to go? In a second.
I also think it's interesting when you're talking about films like 2001. What is it about a movie that makes you, even if you don't get it the first time, want to go back and rewatch it? Where you're like,
fascination. I mean, you look at. It's
compelling.
Interstellar for me. I even said it in my review. I couldn't take my eyes off that movie.
Yeah.
I was watching it, and for the whole, I was never bored. Almost 3 hours long, and I was
went like that.
Yeah, it was for me. It was just that the payoff didn't do what I wanted it to do.
Where there's moments of,
Yes.
And I always appreciate a really ambitious movie.
It was very ambitious.
That was ambitious.
Yeah.
2001 was very ambitious.
Well, then let me take the next step then to bring up a movie that we can talk about before we get a Schmoeville call, and that is Battlefield Earth.
Why?
It's a sci-fi movie.
That came out in May of
terrible.
2000, and it was horrendous.
It's horrendous.
It's awful.
Like I said, we didn't say we were going to talk about
Super Troopers.
But let's stay on. Don't you dare get away from Barry Pepper's dreadlocks. You talk about Barry Pepper's dreadlocks, and you talk about John Travolta doing God knows what, and it is garbage. It's garbage. But it's if you the weapons were cool at least. But Barry Pepper at that point, I remember them thinking that Barry Pepper was going to
what's that line that he says?
Why am I making this movie? Oh no, sorry.
Pretty much. It's what he's saying internally.
It's just it is stinky. Come on, give it to me, JT. We got it. No calls coming in. Wait, the line's on 424. There's something wrong. People are saying they're calling in. JT is messing up. Yeah, they're saying it's busy. JT, turn the phone lines on. Come on.
While you're waiting, a movie that is ripe for a remake, The Black Hole.
Yeah.
Oh,
The Black Hole.
They just did
It's
it.
a great movie. Came out in December. I have the DVD. I will give it to you.
Okay, cool.
It came out in December of 1979. It is Disney's first ever PG-rated movie, and basically it's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea in outer space.
Interesting.
And Maximilian Schell plays the commander of the Cygnus, and he's like this evil captain. And the Palomino was this ship that is trying to find the Cygnus. Anyway, the special effects are incredible, and it's a dark movie, and it has a very ambiguous ending, and it's brilliant. I love it. The music is great. Directed by Gary Nelson.
Sold me.
Yeah.
Oh,
John Barry.
JT, you got to call somebody because they're all calling in and it's busy. So I don't. Someone needs to fix that.
Can I mention one?
Yeah.
Moon.
That's what I was going to say.
I was going to say the original. I was going to say the original Oblivion.
Yeah, it is. The
I
original
love
Oblivion.
the space movies where it's like really deals with someone losing their mind.
Yeah, it's
'cause
more
they're
about
out
the
there
humanity
alone, where
rather
you're
than-
like, because that to me, like whenever anybody talks about like, oh, would you go to space? I'm like, no, I'm gonna freak out that I can't get out, and like then I'm there by myself, and I'm gonna start imagining things. And he is so incredible.
And Kevin Spacey rocking it as
yeah.
And it was directed by Zoe Bowie.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk to Schmeiley Reilly over there. Because apparently JT speared beer on the phone lines. Can you tell me give me a sci-fi movie that you want to talk about?
That I want to talk about, and I was waiting for my turn because a lot of Schmoevillians put this out there.
We'll end it.
Okay, E.T.
Great.
My favorite all-time movie.
Yeah.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
All right, hit me up. Why is it? Not only why is it your favorite movie, but why is it a sci-fi movie that should be remembered for the ages?
Well, it's the alien visiting Earth and being left, and then you turn. The reason I love it is because Elliot takes him in. Elliot is going through has divorced parents, and E.T. becomes the surrogate father, and he looks to E.T., looks up to E.T., and the way that Spielberg shoots it, you never see an adult.
Kid height.
Yep, from kid height. So it's almost like when the Peanuts are getting talked to by the adult.
Yeah.
And it's but the only adult face you see is the mother until Keys at the very end when he's revealed. I mean, it's one of the best Spielberg movies.
You love it.
I love this movie so much.
And it's one of those movies everybody always talks about with the. It's one of those movies that every time they talk about how ticket prices were wrapped around lines, it's always E.T. It did something. And Spielberg had done Close Encounters, and then this E.T. was one that really put him on. I mean, Jaws obviously too, but this put him on blockbuster, like in a different way.
Back in that time when he did Jaws, and then he did Close Encounters, and then he did Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1981, and then E.T. came out on June 9th, 1982.
What a beast!
1 week after Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan and Poltergeist, which he also sourced sort of directed
Right.
because he
Yeah.
produced it.
Poltergeist is kind of a sister to E.T.
Yes,
same
it is.
same neighborhood.
Same
It's very
premise, yeah.
And
interesting.
you know what's a cousin to E.T.? Gremlins.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it is.
But do you know that E.T. kind of came out of the studio wanting a sequel to Close Encounters, and that it was going to be dark. It was going to call Dark Skies.
Skies.
And there was a side story about an
boy's life.
autistic kid
Right.
who made friends with one of the evil aliens, and then he took that nugget and fleshed it out with Melissa Matheson on Raiders.
He couldn't have made E.T. without making Close Encounters.
Exactly.
E.T. is basically a much more personal film
Yeah.
than Close Encounters. It's also a fairy tale.
Yep.
It's a beautiful movie. It's a perfect
Peter Pan.
film.
It's a
great film.
And every
Images.
single time I see that movie, I'm not kidding. I
That
bawl my
movie
eyes out.
scared me
Yeah.
when I was little.
Yeah.
E.T.?
Every
Like,
time I see it.
I can understand why, because there's government workers and stuff too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
guys.
that
It was scary to me when I was little, and I feel like maybe I have to watch it like again. But every time I watch it, I'm not.
You know what?
I don't hate it, but I'm like, I just don't
Yeah.
connect with it for some
Yeah.
reason.
All right. Well, listen. Those are a handful of movies that we talked about. We'll see if we can get you guys to call in. We'll see if we can fix that problem. So make sure keep trying to call in 424-253-0504. Mantzman at Mantzman is that at Movie
Movie
Mantz
Mantz.
at Movie Mantz. Check him out at
God.
Movie Mantz.
Oh, God.
Make sure you watch Profiles. He's not going anywhere because he's going to be competing against the beast that is Samm Levine, Mark Reilly, and John Schnepp. It's a battle. Not when we get back. When we get back, Samm Levine will be here, and we'll talk about sci-fi movies with him right after the break. Schmoes Know Movies.
Hey guys, Maria Menounos here, and I want to share my newest book, The Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, with you. Basically, every woman always stops me and asks me how I lost 40 pounds, so I decided to put it all in one book. Everything I did to lose 40 pounds step by step, and how you can too, is in here. I did it with no time, no money, and no willpower, and now I'm going to show you how to do it too. You can pre-order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, wherever books are sold, and it's out June 3rd. So I hope you guys love it. I hope it helps you in your weight loss journey, and please, please tweet me and update me on your progress at Maria Menounos. Thanks.
What's up, Schmoeville? It's me, the Wild Man, Josh McCouga. You guys know me from the podcast and Wild Man TV, but did you also know I have my own talk show? It's called Between the Sheets. I bring on comedians, TV personalities, adult stars, and we talk about everything, but mostly sex. So go to my YouTube channel, The Casual Mafia, subscribe, and see every episode of Between the Sheets. We done? Yeah, I'll be right there, sweet.
Hello, Schmoeville.
I'm Alicia Malone.
And I'm Scott Mantz.
And we are from Profiles with Malone and Mantz, an excellent show that you should all be checking out.
Every week on Profiles with Malone and Mantz, we are going to look at our favorite directors, our favorite filmmakers, our favorite actors, all sorts of fun trivia. We're going to count down the best movies. What else we got on the show?
Fun guests, lots of surprises.
A little trivia, a little quiz show action going on.
Have we convinced you yet? I hope so. If we have, please look up Profiles with Malone and Mantz on iTunes. Subscribe, rate and review, and make sure to subscribe to YouTube/Schmoes Know Podcast for all the great podcasts that are happening on this network, but especially Profiles.
Profiles with Malone and Mantz every week on the Schmoes Know Network.
Stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, screenwriting, radio, acting, professional wrestling, love, life. Ken Napzok, the producer of the Schmoes Know podcast, has failed at all of these things, but his friends haven't. So join Ken as he makes his wonderful friends your friends, including some of your favorite Schmoes Know characters as they discuss life, the universe, and everything on The Napzok Files. Available on Stitcher and iTunes. Hashtag The Napzok Files to join the conversation.
So we go now?
What up, Schmoeville?
What's up, Schmoeville? It's Josh McCouga here.
Steve Simone.
We are the hosts of Guilty Movie Pleasures here on the Schmoes Know Network.
And it's pretty much the funnest show ever because we just talk about the best movies ever.
Yes, exactly. Movies where explosions, there aren't supposed to be explosions, and karate kicks where they just might not be.
Yeah, but every time you watch them, it makes you happy.
Exactly. So tune into us, subscribe to our channel, rate us, like us on iTunes.
5 stars.
All the time. And like Jack Burton said,
what you gonna do, Schmoeville, when Makuga and Simone run wild on you?
Nice.
Alicia, very excited.
2001.
It is 2001. I know. Welcome back, Schmoeville. It is the Schmoes Know Movies Show. We are talking sci-fi movies. We did a whole bunch of news. We just had the Mantz Man in here. It's Tiffany Smith, myself, Alicia Malone, and I'm going to introduce our guest in just a second here. He is 1986 Mike Tyson when it comes to the game. But right now, I wanted to tell you guys about something that we're going to do, and this is going to be a lot of fun. We are going to, at some point in December, we are going to do an after-hours show. It is going to be one night. It is going to only. It's true. It's going to be live. It will not be available on iTunes. It will not be available on YouTube. It will only be available live. We are all going to Uber it here. We are all going to be drinking a lot. We are all going to be talking about things that we probably would never talk about ever. Probably
Tiffany's going to be
there. I will not be there.
You will not be here. It's going to make Between the Sheets with Josh Makuga look like a Disney show.
Wow. Yep. Definitely will not be there for that.
It's going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty nuts. So we'll keep following us on Twitter and Facebook, and we'll give you the updates on that. But I have to introduce the man here. Now, he first made his Schmoeville debut back in phase 2 of this show when Catherine Reitman was the co-host. Last year, he came back, and we found out that he is a force of nature when it comes to the game. It takes most people, good players for the game, about 5 minutes to win. It took this man 1 minute and 47 seconds to do it.
He's like, I don't even know what I did.
I don't even know what I did.
He is awesome. He is a friend of the show. He's a friend of ours. He is actor Samm Levine. What's up, Sam?
Thank you so much. What a lovely introduction.
How are you, brother?
I want to go on the record as saying whatever happened the last time I was here was some sort of fluke.
Stop it. Stop it. You did this. And we just watched this. I showed Alicia because everyone's been talking about how good you are at this game. And I said, you have to watch this. And so Ellis and I showed her when you played. And the same thing that you just did is what you did. You're like, oh, I don't know how I did that.
I don't know.
But when you watch, it is the same thing Mike Tyson did to Spinks. When your eyes just went, when you're playing, your eyes just go black. And you're like, and the clip started. It went, and literally the clip went like this, Chinatown. And you're like, he just heard,
Here's what I should have done: is never come on the show again.
I just laughed like Jordan.
I should have quit while I have this mythology about
But
me.
here's the thing: if you don't do well this time, you can say that this episode was the fluke, and the other one was how you usually play.
Well, I can say anything I want, but Schmoeville and the internet will make their own decisions, won't they?
And we'll get to that in a little bit because he's going to be going up against, and his opponents are pretty good. You got Mark Reilly, you got Scott Mantz and John Schnepp from AMC Movie Talk. It's going to be a battle, guys. So here's what we're going to do because you guys are going to play along. For some reason, the phone lines are down right now. So what we'll do is, here is how you guys are going to pick. Go ahead and make sure that you include at Schmoes Know, but hashtag Schmoes Know. Who do you want to play with in the game? The winner will get the grand prize of Hercules, like Reilly said before, autographed by Brett Ratner. So what you have to do is go ahead and pick. Do you want to play with Sam? Do you want to play with Scott Mantz? Do you want to play with Schnepp? Do you want to play with Reilly?
I mean, Scott's really got some power behind him after that whole chat, yelling out the years when stuff comes out, and then when he saw it.
Reilly's going to go through the tweets, and he's just going to randomly pick people who have picked, and that's how you're going to get assigned to your player. So Reilly will be looking at that. Reilly, make sure you man the Twitter. He's on it. But let's talk some sci-fi, Sam. So we've been talking. It doesn't have to be necessarily a great one. It could be a stinky one. We just talked about Battlefield Earth for a little bit.
Oh, that's just awful.
It's really bad.
I'll tell you my favorite sci-fi movie of the last 10 years.
What do you got?
Children of Men.
We talked about it.
we talked about that.
Let's get your thoughts on Children of Men. What do you love about Children of Men?
It's easier to talk about what I don't love about Children of Men because I love every aspect of Children of Men. The tracking shots alone make that movie top 10 regardless of genre.
Yeah, and Clive Owen, who we thought was going to really become a superstar from that. Incredible actor, obviously. But
great
never
in the
broke
film.
into that superstar thing we thought, especially from that film.
Well, he did that other movie, Shoot 'Em Up.
Right.
Remember that?
It's a guilty movie pleasure.
It was a guilty movie. It's not the worst movie you've seen, but it's not a good movie.
Right.
Apparently, the Nick is doing is pretty good though.
I have not missed an episode. The first season's wrapped. It was fucking phenomenal.
Really, this is great, huh?
I'm allowed to drop the F-bomb, right?
Fuck yeah. So
Done now.
Yeah. We talk Children of Men. We talk just Alfonso Cuarón, and this is something too. This is a good debate to have here because this I see this on the internet all the time.
Yeah.
Gravity.
Oh, love Gravity.
Yep.
A lot of people say, a lot of fans say, I am not on this wavelength. That Gravity is not a sci-fi film. Sci-filth? I absolutely think it is.
They say it is sci-filth.
They say it's sci-filth. I absolutely think this is a sci-fi film.
I think so too.
But what denotes a sci-fi film? Because
It's
I feel like there's
science
like
fiction.
But that could be anything.
That-
like that.
right.
I think for that one, it's like because it's not. Any film is fiction because it didn't actually happen most of the time. So it's like, what makes that one fiction?
Apollo 13, not a sci-fi film.
Right.
Because it's based off real events.
A docudrama.
Right, because I think sometimes people think it doesn't take place on another world or futuristic stuff that we don't have yet. So because of that, it's not sci-fi.
But it's
yes,
science.
it clearly is science
I can
fiction.
clear that one right up for you with a quote from the director.
Yeah, please.
Because he was heavily criticized after the movie came out by people who are interested in this sort of thing, going, "There's no way Sandra Bullock could possibly have made it from that space station to that vehicle. They're not even on the same rotation surrounding, going around the Earth." Like, they went fucking crazy.
Right.
And Alfonso Cuarón is sitting there going, it's a work of fiction, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Science fiction.
Yeah,
That's what I just
And
never
it is
understood that.
sciencey.
Yeah. So that was just something I wanted to get off my chest because a lot of people always say, every time I said it, Reilly and I said it was science fiction in our review of it. And they're like, this isn't sci-fi. It clearly is science fiction.
It is.
I'm going to bring one up that I have not talked about yet. And some people might not. Another one may not think it's science fiction. That's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Clearly science fiction.
March 2004.
Yes. Yes, Reilly.
I just want to comment on Schmoeville.
Yes.
Thank you, JT. That they have been tweeting that like crazy.
It is sci-fi.
It's a great.
It's one of my
pick.
favorite. I bring it up because you brought E.T. as your favorite movie. Eternal Sunshine is definitely in my top 10 movies of all time, and it is absolutely science fiction.
I never would have
because
thought of it in that way.
Yeah.
but
when you think about it,
technically.
and to where you have this technology to be able to
Futuristic.
and you get inside the
Remove
person's mind,
memory.
remove
Yeah.
memories. It's absolutely science fiction.
I just sometimes think of I separate things into fantasy.
Yeah, and I think
Like,
that's what a lot of people do
yeah.
sometimes too. Like
Yeah.
when you see the first thing when you say science fiction, they go Star Wars. It's the
Yeah.
first thing that they
Yeah.
do.
Right.
As where when you think about science and actual science, to me, Eternal Sunshine is just
Yeah.
brilliant, and everything Michel Gondry did with that movie, from the way he shot under the table, didn't use those effects, didn't
all
need to
those
use.
fantasy
Yeah, it's
scenes,
just shots.
So beautiful.
Were you a fan of the movie?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Big fan. And you're absolutely right to call it a sci-fi picture because it is.
Yeah.
How about Free Jack?
Free Jack. There's one with Mick Jagger and Emilio Estevez.
I've
That's
actually
one.
never seen
I don't know that one.
No one has.
No.
Just us.
Yeah, it's true. That's a great
That's
one.
my favorite guilty pleasure.
That's a great for those people who don't know about Free Jack. Give us a breakdown on kind of what it was about.
Okay. Free Jack, which by the way is based on a novel. It's
That no one read.
That no one read. So Emilio Estevez in 1991 plays a Formula One race car driver, and Rene Russo is his girlfriend. He's in this big race, and she's watching him in this race, and he gets into a horrible car accident, and the car explodes, and he's dead.
Right.
But they can't find the body. Cut to the future, 2009.
Is it 2009? Is that what it is? Wow.
Future.
Cut to 18 years in the future, 2009. New York City. He shows up and like he just like he
same age, right?
materializes in the exact same way in the race suit and everything in this like weird vehicle, and he's like, "What's going on? Did I win the race? Is this a hospital? What's going on?" And then he breaks out of there somehow, and so basically what turns out to be, spoiler alert, I guess I'm saving you trouble. Rene Russo's boss in the future, in this futuristic world, is Anthony Hopkins, and he's dying, and they can only keep his brain alive. So he gets himself hooked up to what's known as the spiritual switchboard.
You make this movie sound so much more fascinating.
While he's awaiting a new body. Which is
He
the body of
Emilio Estevez.
because he wants Rene Russo to fall in love with him. And so he sneaks out, and then if you're a free jack, that's people do this. Like the wealthy people zap you from the past
and grab your
bring you to
body.
the future because everyone from the present in that 2009 are all sick and diseased and everything. Right. So anyway, Mick Jagger's chasing him. He's trying to get away. There's a bridge sequence.
Makuga, you absolutely have to have Sam on.
Absolutely.
Makuga on a network. Makuga does a show, Guilty Movie Pleasures.
Yeah.
You have to come on and do Free Jack.
I'll talk about Free Jack and 100 other things.
Okay, Reilly, why don't we get Schmoeville to get us? You know what? How about the artist formerly known as JTI? Let's get JT. What do you got over there? Well, give me a movie.
Let's go.
Got to turn your mic on.
It's already on. Let's go with Dark City, Alex Proyas.
Yes.
Good one. Okay, what do you like about the original Matrix?
The original Matrix. I think it's who's a huge fan of the film is Roger Ebert, and if anyone has the DVD or Blu-ray, he does a great commentary for that whole film. He just breaks it down, not just like story-wise, but visually. And visually, the film is fantastic. And it's got Keith Sutherland, Jennifer Connelly.
Keith Sutherland.
Who did he say?
What did I say?
Keither.
Yes. JT is notorious at screwing up names. So
that's a pretty basic one to screw up.
Yeah.
But I'll allow it.
We love that one.
But Dark City looks beautiful.
It's great, JT. It's a great choice. What'd you say? Dork City? Oh, Dark City.
Can we talk about District 9?
Love District 9.
Wait, we can't run away from Dark City.
Okay,
we can't run away from Dark City. Have you ever seen Dark City?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you'd love it.
Existence on the 13th floor.
Which one?
Existence. Jennifer Jason Leigh in the 13th floor. Craig Bierko.
Yeah,
come on,
no,
really?
I've never seen it.
Existence came out the same year as The Matrix.
Wow.
Yes, it did. That's accurate. Gretchen Mol, Craig Bierko.
Now, do you feel intimidated to go against him in the game?
No, not at all. I'm also a year specialty guy.
Oh, we should do that.
Throw down.
Give him the mic real quick. Put the mic. Do not blurt this out, Mantz. Do not blurt it out. I'm gonna say a movie, and I'm gonna give it back. Just a preview, real quick. Okay.
Oh, geez.
All right. Chinatown.
1973.
1974.
All right.
Was it?
I'm gonna.
Yes, it was.
All right. He knows. All right. All right. I'm gonna give you another one. I'm gonna give you. I can't
Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange, 1971.
Just a little preview. That's the preview 5 video. Right?
Come on.
No, don't worry. You've got a lot of mic time. You're gonna get more. Makuga, steal that back.
Makuga, back.
All right. Reilly, give us a movie from Schmoeville.
A lot of people want to talk about
The Last Dragon.
No. I'm getting a lot of tweets for two. Can I throw those? Can I throw two out there?
Let's start with one, and then we'll go with the other one.
Terminator and Predator.
Good ones. All right, let's start with Terminator. That's also on my list.
Yep.
Predator 87.
Yeah, the 84, 87. Yeah, that's correct. So for me, Terminator is my favorite of the franchise. The first one.
Really?
Sure.
Not T2.
Agreed.
I love T2. It's not better than T1.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love Terminator 1.
I
think
T2.
Terminator 1 is, you talk about that horror element before that Alien did.
Yeah.
Terminator had that as well too. Just the way it was, what James Cameron did with that limited budget, and set up and it was such a great story, and the characters and everything, just this bleak future that we'd never seen. I remember I saw the movie when I was like 8, and I remember it just scaring the shit out of me. First of all, being 8 years old. But just watching, and then I need your shoes, your glasses, and whatever the hell he says, and we're a rough night for a walk, eh? Tough night for a walk, eh? Whatever he says, it's so intimidating where he comes out there, built as shit back then.
Yeah.
How big he was,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
and it was such a move for Arnold at that point to play evil. Everyone was telling him, no, not good for the career, and boy did he pull it off. And it was brutal, like when he's punching through people's stomachs and in a way that not just because T2 is a wonderful movie and great action and really playing with the sci-fi elements, but there was just something about T1. It's just one of my favorites of all time.
All right. I like so much about that movie, but I, as a huge time travel fan, have such a problem with the giant inherent flaw.
But T2 also, though, as well.
Well, the flaw of the movie is, it's obvious to me, but for some reason most people don't get it. In the linear timeline, if you're going point A to point B, if you're going to make some sort of jump, everything has to have happened at least once.
Right.
There's no possible way.
Depending on your perception of time.
And mine is, it's linear and you can make jumps that affect things after it. But John Connor has to have been born once on his own to send him back to impregnate his own mother. It doesn't fly with me.
But by that argument too, there's a lot of things that happen in T2. I mean, it's a whole conversation.
Yeah,
it's a whole
time
thing.
travel.
Yeah,
It's not a real thing.
No, well, that's not true. That is not true at all.
That's definitely not true.
Definitely not true at all. It is absolutely. We haven't accomplished it yet. So we know.
You go to Australia, you go to the future.
Yeah. Okay.
There it is.
Speaking, we'll get into Predator, but time travel. Back to the Future. Great sci-fi movie.
A lot of Schmoevillians wanted that.
You gotta talk. Let's talk Back to the Future. Are you a huge fan? Big fan? Small fan?
I loved the movie when I was young. I just thought it was so much fun. I wanted to be with Marty McFly. He was so cool. And the hoverboard. Why hasn't that happened?
Well, that's Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, but why hasn't that? I thought we were talking about all of them.
I thought sci-fi actually played too much of a part in number 2. I thought that the first one was a perfect blend of science fiction. I thought that 2 tried to do it too much. This is what the future is going to look like, and this and that, and it became more of a shtick than it became. I just thought it was a perfect blend in the first one.
Right. Well,
I like to.
Much like when they did the sequel to The Matrix, it was like, well, now we're going to take them to Zion, right?
Right.
It's like in Back to the Future when Doc has a time machine. You have to go into the future.
Yeah. I don't mind going into the future.
I don't blame you. And by the way, I saw a real video, not the fake hoverboard video, a real video for hoverboards just last week.
Really?
It's nothing like what you want it to be. But it's controlled with magnets on a magnet platform. But it was a straight up hoverboard.
I liked 2 because it was more fun, but I saw it when I was young.
Mantz man?
This is what I have to say about Back to the Future. I mean,
I saw that movie when it came out.
Say it again.
This is what I have to say about Back to the Future. It came out on July 2nd, 1985. Okay, that's not what I really have to say, though. Now, when I saw it on that day, I loved the hell out of that movie. But as I got older, when I started reviewing movies and I gained so much more perspective on film, I realized it's a perfect movie. It is a perfect screenplay. If I was ever going to teach a screenwriting class, I wouldn't use All About Eve or Casablanca. I would use Back to the Future, because everything that you set up in that movie, especially when they're having breakfast and they're talking about the enchantment under the sea dance and everything, everything they're talking about, you see it all play out. The Twin Pines, the Lone Pine, all of it. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
And it's not a film. It's not a film that, like we were saying before, other sci-fi ones where it's like you've got to watch it 7 times to figure it out. Like every person who watches that movie for the first time, can pull something out of it and connect with it.
Yeah, and if you talk about time problems,
actually, that's they got it right in Primer.
No, I'm talking Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Sorry, I thought you heard what I said.
Back to the Future.
Yes, there's giant issues there.
But Primer I actually have never seen, but that's an interesting one that I can't remember who brought it. I think JT brought it up the other day when I was talking to him about Interstellar. Or maybe it was the some person in the back. I forget his name. So that's his name? Okay.
Can we talk about District 9 now?
We can. We can talk about District 9. We can talk about Predator. But just real quick before we do that, I want to see, Reilly, first of all, out of the tweets from the live link, who's our winner for one of just the regular Blu-rays? Can we do that? We haven't done that yet.
Oh, yeah. We can do that.
Let's pick a tweet.
Let me just get that up.
So we're going to pick a winner, and you will win a copy of, courtesy of Paramount Pictures, you guys will win a Blu-ray of Hercules. So let's see.
Picking a tweet at random. This was meant to be because he has my same. This is the retweet. Yeah. We got Patrick Aleo at Patrick Aleo, ALEO.
Great. So make sure
he is a winner.
Patrick, go over to Facebook and send us your address so we can send that to Paramount. Now, how about
District 9, the prawns?
Wait. I want to assign. Let's assign some people to our players tonight, so we don't have to do it later on. Let's pick someone that picked Sam, someone that picked Scott, someone that picked Schnepp, and someone that picked you.
All right.
Where's
Dun, dun,
Cody?
dun.
Write this down, okay? All right, so let's get. So do we have a winner for? Not a winner, but who's playing?
2009.
Who's playing with Samm Levine? Quiet over there.
Okay.
Stop.
Shoot. Wait a minute. No, I got to do this over. Sorry.
All right.
Can't do it yet. There's a lot of tweets I got to go through.
Mance, I expect you to get this. What day did Titanic open?
Oh, that opened in 1997, December 1997. I'm going to say December, wait, 16th, 17th?
19th.
Oh!
All right, take it. All right, because Reilly had settle, guys, settle. Riley's got to go through the tweets, so we're gonna do it again. We'll do it during the break. You got it now? All right, just why don't you put them together? Take 4 people, put them together, and then we'll come back to you. Okay. Let's talk about District 9.
District 9.
Now,
August 2009.
Yes, August 2009.
Don't make me start rooting for Samm Levine to beat you. Stop that.
Wait, you weren't already?
You're the favorite. You always want. I don't even think that they're gonna. We're playing to 5 tonight.
Okay.
I don't even feel that it's gonna be 6 questions. I think it's gonna be a sweep. I think it's gonna be 5. I really do. Unless
oh my god.
Pressure.
I've never seen anyone like you. I've never seen anything like you. Okay. District 9. Now we don't have to talk about Elysium. We can pretend it doesn't exist. Let's talk about District 9. Did you like Elysium? No. District 9 to me was a movie that because this was the movie that he was supposed to, Neil Blomkamp that is, was supposed to do Halo.
Yes.
And they didn't have, the studio was like, who is this guy? He's just championed by Peter Jackson. So like, well, screw you. We're going to go make this movie that we want to make. And the trailers for District 9 came out with that boom. And you're like, yes, please.
Yeah.
And it delivered on every,
absolutely.
the message, the effects for
so original, but at the same time talks
scale.
about class systems, and that's what I think sci-fi does really well, is take these big concepts but then talk about basic ideas.
Yeah.
And it did so well. And Sharlto Copley, he's awesome.
Coming out party.
Like, I just remember going to that movie not knowing what I was going to get, and I just was so drawn in the entire time. And you feel for him, even though he's kind of a despicable character. And it was just, again, I think I did go in with high expectations because I'm a huge Halo fan. And so I was like, I like it that they're just being like, F you, whatever. And obviously there was some Peter Jackson involvement as well.
Yeah.
But that movie to me is sci-fi done so well because it is on such a small budget where it's like so many times you hear people will be like, oh, the first thing I should do is horror because it's cheap and you can do it well and whatever. And then I'm like, something like that comes out and you're like, again, not that it was super duper cheap, but you're like,
it was cheap for what it was.
Yeah,
for that
exactly.
Scale,
that you can do something that is that awesome.
Ken, did you ever see District 9?
Yeah, I love District 9.
What do you like about it? Wait, we need your microphone to be on them.
Yeah, that would help.
Is JT in there?
Yeah.
There you go.
We talked before the show. I'm actually not a huge sci-fi fan. I'm an epic fan.
Right.
I don't count Star Wars as sci-fi. It's an epic to me.
Sci-fi epic.
Put it in whatever category you want. It's an epic.
Right.
It's Joseph Campbell.
Science
it's all
fiction.
that stuff.
It's science fiction.
But District 9, I wasn't expecting that. It had layers of dark. It made you, at the end, one tear kind of comes down your eye, and that's what I liked about it. And it was gritty, too.
Yeah.
When you don't have a big budget, you have to focus on story, and the story was so good. Intense.
He's very nice.
I know.
Mance man.
Got his arm raised.
Hold on.
3 things. August 2009. 2. District 9 is a perfect science fiction movie because science fiction is at its best when it holds a mirror up to our society, which is what that movie did. Class structure, apartheid. That movie, it was the best sci-fi allegory since the original Planet of the Apes, which came out in April of 1968. Buddy boy, how do you like them apples?
May I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
When you were 10 years old,
yes,
and your parents took you to Chuck E. Cheese.
How did you know that?
Were you running into a wall at 100 miles an hour when they gave you a soda?
They thank God that Red Bull did not exist.
I gave him a Red Bull the other day. It was terrifying.
It was terrifying.
Mark, you got something over there? Cops are sorry. Let's get cops around the mic.
One of my favorite sci-fi films of all time.
Yes.
Starship Troopers. It is super campy, but I love it. I love Paul Verhoeven. He knows science fiction.
I agree. I mean, so what is it about Starship Troopers that you like?
For me, I grew up with that movie. That was one of the first movies where first I saw boobs,
Yeah.
and then also it was one of the goriest movies I think I've ever seen too.
First I saw boobs.
I just remember me and my friends, we would play this. Like we would play the Starship Troopers, Neil Patrick Harris and whoever the other dude, Casper Van Dien. And it's just the whole idea, the parody of like the military and propaganda and everything. I thought that was really
They're
great.
doing a remake of it, but they're going to base it more on the book and the book had a lot more to say about propaganda, but I liked Starship Troopers as well.
Okay, how about Sam? Why don't you give us another movie? What do you got?
Time Cop.
Oh, Mark Ellis right now is yelling from Pittsburgh.
Which actually has one of my favorite examples of correct time travel cause and effect.
Space.
It's so the scene where they're in the warehouse and young Ron Silver and old Ron Silver are in the same warehouse, and Van Damme is in there kicking ass, and he kicks young Ron Silver in the face, and he puts a deep gash in his cheek, and then the shot cuts over to old Ron Silver who's visiting the past, and all of a sudden you watch a scar appear on his face immediately, whereas Van Damme for some reason has to go back to the present to find out all the changes he's made. No. He would know them minute he changes the past.
You know what movie did that well? Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
Butterfly Effect did a great job with that because it messed with his brain when that happened.
Looper as well.
Looper did as well.
Frequency did it.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Yeah, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is actually a sci-fi movie.
They did not do that well, though.
They didn't do it well.
They did not do what we're talking about well.
No, but that's absolutely right. I mean, that's the thing that I can't wait to talk more about Interstellar next week on our spoiler discussion of it because there's elements of that type of stuff that I want to talk about. Just in regards to time. Ken, you got something?
I know we're going to break soon, but I just talked to John Schnepp in the lobby, and I started explaining the rules of the game. He said, I don't even need to know. I got this.
Really? All right. And the Schnepp is coming in. Schnepp's coming in as the people's champion. People love Schnepp. People love Schnepp. So I'm curious of who's going to... I bet you there's a lot of people that wanted to pick Schnepp tonight.
So really what you're saying to me is, if I win... I'm going to be vilified.
I don't think so, man.
And if I lose, people are going to go, he wasn't that great anyway. We always knew.
Nah, dude, I'm telling you,
Welcome to the internet.
This is why I don't like challenge games.
Well, what we did is we have an archive channel. On our podcast channel now, we have all the new shows, but we also have been putting all the archive shows. That particular episode with you hasn't gone up there yet. When it does... If it goes down tonight the way I think it's going to go down, it would be like a two classics going back and forth. Don't worry about it, Sam. You know as well as I. In your head, you are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to wipe the floor with these people."
I'm not. I'm 100%. I'm not.
Don't you lie to me.
No lies.
All right.
He's very good at this.
Okay.
I can tell.
So we are going to go to break here in just a second. When we get back, not only are we going to announce one of the winners for her. What's wrong?
We forgot Jurassic Park. That's the only
we did forget. We forgot Jurassic Park, Planet of the Apes. I mean, there's tons of movies we forgot.
Armageddon.
We could have done.
Logan's Run.
4 hours of sci-fi.
Silly this conversation with Armageddon.
All right. So what we're gonna do when we get back, we are going to let you guys know who won the second Blu-ray. Then you guys are going to play along with Scott Mantz, Samm Levine, John Schnepp, and Mark Reilly in the game. It's going to be a battle. When we get back, stay tuned. Schmoes Know Movies.
Hey, I'm Ken Knapsack.
My name is Maud Garrett.
And this is the Jedi Alliance, a celebration of the greatest saga ever told, Star Wars.
In every single episode, you can expect so much Star Wars goodness. Not only do we put two things in the Star Wars universe against each other in Duel of the Fates.
We have great trivia, guests, and also some fierce discussions over pronunciations of certain ships.
And we can't promise that we won't be doing our very own sound effects or impressions and impersonations.
This is true. We've got up-to-date Star Wars news, speculation on Episode 7 as well, and you can find us on iTunes, where I want you to subscribe, rate, and review.
Oh, and you can also find us on the YouTube channel, which of course is youtube.com/Schmoes Know Podcast. Rate and review, you will.
Yes, you will. That's the Jedi Alliance on the Schmoes Know Network.
Hello, Schmoeville. This is Mark Reilly here.
And I'm Jeff Snyder.
And we are Meet the Movie Press, and we are taping shows every week with special guests from Variety, from Badass Digest, from all over the internet, all over the geek blogosphere and the trades. We are breaking down the news every week.
the most hot stories, the biggest scoops, and we want you, Schmoeville, to subscribe, rate, comment on the iTunes and YouTube channels on the Schmoes Know Movie Network.
You have such a handsome voice, Mark.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I like being here with you. So guys, come on, check us out every week. Meet the Movie Press. We're excited to be doing this. We're excited to be breaking down everything, and we want you to come with us every week for this wonderful journey we are on. Right, Jeff?
Please.
John's.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and bet my house on John Flick.
Yeah, that seems like a safe bet.
John's
it's
solid 7-1 in Vegas.
Yeah.
Easy. I'm a good 120.
He's never looked at
Flick.
Flick.
This is not like over the top.
We have Flick versus Bounty. Good Lord.
Jeremy, have you...
What?
What? Oh, my God! Look at his arm. He's looking at Jeremy's doing good, man.
I feel like
over the top. Over the top. I gotta say, that was underestimated the power of having a game tattoo, right?
Yeah.
Our legacy of kids.
Look at that. That was amazing.
Kid in that
Mikey.
I didn't know that. Yeah. You know, John Flick, he drove here doing the weight thing like this. All right, guys, it is the Schmoes Know Movie Show. We are back. Get ready. You can feel the electricity in the air. It is going to be nuts here in just a second. We have some titans in the room ready to play the game. Now, before we do, like I said before.
I also, hold on, just love the fact that they're all three wearing like t-shirts with just like a thing right in the center.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, after hours, we mentioned after hours. That's going to be happening. Make sure that you tune in. That we'll let you know everybody that's going to be. Alicia, how are you feeling about the after hours show?
I'm nervous. I mean, we came up with this idea at Chili's, and I was like, yeah, that'll be fun. I'm going to need tequila.
Yeah, there's going to be tequila. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on there. Now, Reilly, before we get you competing against these animals, let's.
Jeez, I know, man.
Let's. What do you? Let's talk about Hercules here.
Okay.
Give us just another winner. Who gave a funny story? Who wins the second one?
Okay, the winner of the second one is Nick Parker, who had. If I had the strength of the Rock and Hercules, I would do the one thing. And one thing only, arm wrestle Finstock in an epic reenactment of the finale of Over the Top.
Very nice.
I'm taking that.
Appropriate in the fact that we just played John Flickinger and Jeremy Johns having that.
Absolutely. It's Kismet, Nick Parker. Please email Schmoes Know on Facebook.
Yes. Okay. Now how about now? Who is playing with Samm Levine? Who is playing with John Schnepp? Who is playing with you? And who is playing with Mantz?
Okay. First up, John Schnepp. We got Adam Douglas at Jones Malone.
Okay.
I want to play with the Pied Piper of sweaty nerds, John Schnepp.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweaty nerds.
All right. Stanley Williams, you get me for the simple and easy Reilly. You even spelled my name right. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Stanley Williams playing with me.
Who's playing with the Mantz Man?
Mantz Man, I'll get there.
Nobody picked me. Great.
Okay. And Cassandra Mudway.
Oh, wait.
At Legally Feminist.
Legally Feminist.
I back Movie Man.
She's my champ, Cassandra.
All right. Hashtag profiles. All right, then who's playing with the champ?
Kristian at It's a Christian 1. Give me Sam.
Kristian.
That's Kristian. Kristian did that.
I tweeted it out myself. I'm playing with Sam. Okay, so here's how the rules work. Because Mark Reilly has played this game before. Sam has played this before. Schnepp and Mantz are rookies. They have not played yet. Now here's how it works. You guys are going to play to 5. It's the first person to get to 5. All right. So what you do is when you hear the clip, your name is your buzzer.
Mantz.
Right. Now what's the clip? That's it.
Yeah.
Now and that's how it's going. And be careful. Remember that we all have ears.
Mantz's name is a killing word, like from Dune.
Yeah. JT, let's make sure we have all the mics. Okay, we have all the mics on. Okay, so that is what we're gonna do. That is how we're gonna. Are there any questions before we start playing?
If two players ring in at the same time, is there a judge to defer to who they think ring in?
Yeah. Well, I will. Ken and I will kind of look at each other and defer prefer it that way. So,
boy. This
yeah,
is
it'll
not
be one
gonna
of
be
those.
fair.
It's not gonna be fair. But one last thing I would like to say also, if you guys were not at Kamikaze and able to be at Kamikaze, because Schnepp is here with his lovely Holly, and Holly set us up real nice, man. We had a great panel over at Kamikaze. That panel's actually, we put it up on our YouTube channel, courtesy of a fan. He taped it the whole time. So it was really cool. It was awesome. Schnepp had a great panel there. Actually, Kevin Smith introduced him, which was great. And also check out John. John is one of my cohorts on AMC Movie Talk, along with Alicia Malone here.
And then we had the Nerd Girls Who Rock panel.
You guys,
Holly was on.
I love Kamikaze. I really. Ellis and I were talking about it. How it had like that vibe that you kind of want the cons to have now.
It's
like,
what Comic-Con originally was. It was a lot smaller. You actually could go buy comics. You could go talk to artists. You didn't have to wait for 4 days in line to see a panel. Which I'm not knocking Comic-Con because I will still be there with my nerd girl glee.
It's different. It had that vibe, but that's not why we're here tonight. We're here because this is the game. We haven't played. The Ultimate Schmoedown's been going on. We did Celebrity Impression Dating Game. The game has not. I think the last time we played the game was when you guys.
I don't think I've ever been here for the game.
No,
I played one time.
You, Alicia, and Makuga played
one time, and then I was like, I'm never doing that again.
JT, hit the music, my man. Let's get started.
Okay. It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
No Googling, Reilly.
All right, guys. It is the game.
I won't have time with these guys.
Let me do a nice introduction first. He is the Profiles co-host. He is the man who, the reason why we're here tonight, because he challenged the champion, Samm Levine. Let us talk to Scott, Movie Man.
Mantz.
All right.
Mantz.
Not quite yet.
Oh, okay.
Next to him, he is the Ultimate Schmoedown champion, the editor-in-chief of schmoesknow.com, and has a few victories of the game under his belt. He is Mark Yodi Reilly. Next to him is the king of the sweaties. He brings in knowledge. He brings in the humor. He is from AMC Movie Talk, and we'll have him give out his plug for Death of Superman Lives. What happened? John Sweaty Kingman Schnepp. And finally, this man needs no introduction. He has 1 minute, 45 seconds of destruction under his belt the last time he played the game. He is not a freak. He is not a geek. He is an inglorious bastard. He is Samm Mike Tyson Levine.
Thank you very much.
Now don't screw up.
Now don't screw up. All right, let's get
None
going.
Of you.
Eye of the tiger, baby. Eye of the tiger.
Everyone quiet. The first clip begins.
Mantz, 2001: Space Odyssey.
Blow it.
After Courtney, Dorcia. How impressive.
Sam.
How on earth did you get it right?
American Psycho.
Correct.
Oh,
all right, 1 point.
It starts.
1 point for Samm Levine.
Oh,
all right, here we go.
Nice.
Here we go.
Freedom. Not yet.
Sam.
Supposed to stay in your seat.
Here we go. Stop playing the clip.
Die Hard 2.
Correct.
Lord.
That's 2 points.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to enjoy watching it.
Right? That's what I'm talking about. That's why we are your audience. We are actually your audience here. We're not teammates. We're
Here we go.
Clip 3. Put up a fight, you guys.
No doubt the precogs have already seen.
Sam.
Sam.
Minority Report.
Damn.
That's correct. All right, 3-0.
That was a close one.
That was close.
Damn.
That was close.
Free cubs.
3-0. The interns are losing their minds back there.
Well, it just so happens that your friend here.
Reilly.
Sam got it.
Princess Bride.
Come on.
Sam got it. You just missed it. Yeah.
Hey, guys, that was Billy Crystal, right? Whatever. I'm just going to slowly get into this.
1987? Does that count?
No, it does not count. All right, 4-0. Sam is officially 7-0 since the thing. All right, final clip.
Whoa! Jake!
Hi.
I was just talking to your dad.
Sam.
What do you have there?
1 hour photo.
Samm Levine sweeps the table. 5 points.
That is insane.
Over. It's over. There's no fight. Schnepp is down. Reilly is down. Scott Mantz is down. It's over. It's over.
I saw
One hour
contend that I
photo
would've gotten
came out in
2002. Does not count.
That is out of control.
How the hell did you do that?
Is there any way I could have monetized this? Were there Vegas odds?
Yeah, there was.
Makuga odds.
I gave you 1 to 8. You bet $8.
Sam, do you have it? Do you still think it was a fluke? You're pretty good at this.
I guess not. I don't know.
You're pretty
Look,
good.
Here's the thing.
Let the champions
What's the
speak.
thing, Sam? Tell us.
Here's the thing.
Tell us. Make us feel better.
No. You guys will feel better with this, okay? Because I think this is all of us. I was not a popular teenager. Okay, my peers, they're going out, they're having dates, they're hanging out with their bros. I'm home watching movie after movie.
Me too, but I
after
can't
movie.
remember anything.
So was I. Have you seen this couch? You think we were studs? Come on,
He just went like this. Was trying to be nice. He just went like this to all the movie guys.
You know what I mean. But
I
you're
know
a
what you
wizard
mean,
with the ears.
but what do you think? We were studs? Do we look like we were out with girls all the time?
Now, Schnepp.
Speak for yourself, man.
Schnepp, can you kind of give us what just happened there? What did we just witness?
We just watched an idiot savant audio master freak right here.
Did you know any of them after like?
I knew Billy Crystal's voice.
Yeah.
I heard precog. When I heard precog, these freaks were already screaming before I could even say
it's
my
like
name.
something I've never seen.
No, it's pretty amazing.
It's pretty good.
Jeez, what do we do with the next 20 minutes?
We're gonna finish talking sci-fi movies.
I feel like I always try like what you did, figure out who the actor is, and then go from there. But I feel like once you're doing that, it's like, do you even do that? Or are you just like, oh, I know the movie?
No, that's how my brain does it.
Here's
is
what
I
I
hear
would
the
like to
actor's
do.
voice first, and then
Let's try this again, but just do the game for Beatles movies.
I want.
Then
wait, JT, play one. This is just for fun. Play one more.
Can I? I don't want to. I'm gonna sit out.
Now he can be. How about he's out and let them go? How about he's out?
Let's play for second place. I want to see who would win. Let's play to 3. We'll play to 3.
Oh God,
second place because we got enough clips.
This is embarrassing.
No, don't worry. Sam's not playing anymore.
You can do it.
Sam's defended his title.
Sam just pat you on the butt and said, "Go play."
Little kids, go do your thing.
You just put the second string in after putting up 41 points.
All right, here we go. Let's play.
That was embarrassing.
Oh, Frederick, are you all right?
Oh, got it. Young Frankenstein.
Okay, just one for Schnepp. One for
Put
Schnepp.
the candle back.
One for Schnepp.
There, I've touched the food. Happy someone.
Schnepp's on the board. All right, next clip. It's a great clip.
Oh, I got it. Breathing guy on airplane.
No, close.
They're trapped in the desert, in the Sahara Desert. They've been surrounded by rubble for 40 days, and they've run out of food. And
Mantz, is it flight? Is it
While we're young.
Flight of the Phoenix?
Flight of the Phoenix. No.
Damn it.
Reilly?
I heard R2D2 in the
Do you know it?
background.
No, I think that was.
Did you know it?
That was somebody's phone.
Actually, I thought it was a different movie, but I know this isn't the right movie. It's not Capricorn 1, is it?
No.
Is it The English Patient?
No, that was Donald
what
Sutherland's
is it?
voice, so it's got to be
Invasion of the
MASH.
Body Snatchers.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Well,
Okay, good.
Capricorn 1's a great
All right,
movie.
last clip for you guys, and then we're going to talk. I want to hear Schnepp's sci-fi movies. All right.
How come you don't like me?
What makes you think I don't like you?
Reilly. You never talk to me.
Footloose.
Footloose. Okay. All right. Okay. So Schnepp loses the point. Reilly loses the point. The guy who started the challenge. Big fat goose egg.
Yes.
It's all right. It's all right.
I just wanted one.
Yeah. Well, you'll come back.
I got nothing.
All right. So Schnepp.
Wait, can we try this again? But
No, not
just
right now.
do Star Trek.
The Star Trek movie, sure. So what we've been doing before you got it, we just had a big sci-fi movie discussion. Everybody just kind of throwing out a movie we want to talk about, what we liked about it. It doesn't necessarily have to be one that you love. It could be a crap one. I brought up Battlefield Earth before. What's a sci-fi movie that we should? And if we've talked about it already, we'll just say we talked about it. We'll move on to the next one. What's a sci-fi movie that you want to talk about right now? One of your favorites? Something you want to talk about?
Sure. Let's talk about Battle Beyond the Stars.
Whoa! Give me
1979.
I think so. Yeah, it was like a few years after Star Wars came out. Roger Corman wanted to get in the game.
Okay.
And I remember as a little kid, I had my dad take me to the only theater it was playing in. It was called the Strand in Connecticut. And I remember the movie poster was a total lie. All the creatures that were on the really cool painted movie poster weren't in the movie.
Oh, man.
There was like some insectoid creature that wasn't in the movie. But
it got you in the theater, though.
It got me in the theater.
Do you like it? Do you not like it? Or?
It's a cheesy film that I love to watch.
Yeah.
It's just a fun...
Guilty movie pleasure?
Guilty movie pleasure, yeah. Introduced me to Sybil Danning, you know?
Yeah.
John Boy.
All right, let's see. Wait, JT, do we have the phone lines working yet or no? They're down still. If let's try. I want to get some Schmoeville calls in here for some of their movies. So 424-253-0504. Maybe the lines are back up. All right, champ.
How about Rollerball? 1975
with James Caan, yeah,
love it.
James Caan, yeah.
Right?
Not the.
You didn't like the Chris Klein remake?
Not so much.
Yeah.
But what I love is the most dated thing about that movie. Obviously, there's a lot, but it's that it's in 1975, but it takes place in the future.
Yeah.
They're not wearing inline skates.
Oh man,
everyone's wearing old-timey roller skates.
One of my favorite scenes in that is at that decadent party where they're just shooting trees, exploding trees, because that's what rich jerks do in the future.
All right, we got a call. Okay, so let's talk to Schmoeville here. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Oh, snap, it's working.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, it's Alan Roches from Tampa, Florida.
Hey, Alan, what's going on? Alan, so give us a sci-fi movie, one that we haven't talked about tonight that we should talk about and why you like it, why you don't like it. Hit me.
Okay, I don't want to get judged. No, but sci-fi. It's a very recent. I see it as sci-fi. I really like what they did with it. Was actually Man of Steel. I really liked the world that they brought. I felt it was very scientific with Krypton. The explaining of explanations of like Superman's powers and his like. I think it's biology and stuff, all that good stuff. So.
Well, all that. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, at first when he said it, I was like, it's a comic book movie. But then I said, well, wait a minute. It really is.
That was the first time we saw Krypton like that.
Yeah,
like,
it is science fiction.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, another comic book movie you could talk about that's science fiction is X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
time travel, seeing yourself.
Well, but everything what they did in Man of Steel with the cloning and how he was the first kind of Kryptonian born in a long time.
Everyone has like a specific job. You're bred to do a certain thing.
Yeah, it's a good one. JT, you got another one? Okay. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
The one, the only, Thomas Hughes of Winter Park, Florida, USA.
Nice. Thomas, so give us a movie, my brother. What should we talk about?
Well, Scott would definitely know this one, okay? Here we go. I'm gonna say the date. December 6th, 1991. A complete, what I like to call a love letter.
Star Trek 60 Undiscovered Country.
You got it.
Wow. That's impressive.
What? Come on.
That's impressive.
Sam, give it up for the Mantz.
That's impressive.
Give it up for the Mantz. December 6th, 1991, Star Trek 60 Undiscovered Country. He's back. He's back in the game, motherfuckers.
Wait, I want to get Schnepp's reaction to that. What did we just see there, Schnepp? Hold on.
A man that really needed validation.
Yes, I got it, brother. You just made my week. Thank you.
That is pretty. I am slightly impressed.
That's
slightly.
Yeah.
I'll take slightly.
If there's a game for movie dates, this guy's got it. Period.
Holy mother of Jesus. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ellis told me you should go against Mantz. I'm like, no, Mantz like keeps himself up at night with dates.
Yeah.
He just has screaming dates and stuff. You don't sleep, do you?
No, not really.
No, I didn't think so. Okay, well let's talk about some other movies here. Here's one that came out recently that I put on my list was Source Code.
Hey.
Duncan Jones.
Great one. Jake Malone.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Source Code.
I didn't like it as much. I love Moon, which is
I
was going to say Moon.
You didn't like Source Code? How come?
I liked it okay.
Yeah.
Like Edge of Tomorrow, All You Need Is Kill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Live, Die, Repeat is the exact better movie of that same exact.
Yeah. Agree 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked about Source Code last time I was on the show.
Maybe.
And we can definitely talk spoilery stuff right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the guy who he takes the body of.
Yeah.
His soul.
Yeah.
It's just gone.
Yeah, he takes over his body.
He just gets fucked.
Yeah, he does.
His soul shows up in heaven, and St. Peter's like, I don't know. Gyllenhaal wanted it. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it's true.
Everybody else in the train lives, but Well, come on in.
He definitely. I remember saying that after I saw it, and
He's gonna be banging your girl now too.
That's
so
it. You're out of there. Sorry, but that guy would have died anyway, though. So I mean,
I guess
he would have. He would have. I mean, he wouldn't have been the one to save him. Like he had to keep jumping into that body. So hey, he's gonna be nominated for an Oscar, so he deserves it.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Which
Edge
one?
of Tomorrow it's one of my favorite movies of 2014. It's a brilliant film.
Yes.
It was a criminally underseen movie.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's really great.
Live, die, repeat, right?
Live, die, repeat. Yeah.
I like All You Need Is Kill.
It had All You Need Is Kill.
Good one.
Would have been a great Beatles song too. But it's a movie that had a lot of humor. It was great to see Tom Cruise do something he never did before, which was play a coward.
Yeah.
The only problem I had with the movie was the end, the very end of the film.
Yep.
Can we just talk about that? Spoiler
this
or
one's
not?
kind of I don't want because this one's still a little fresh just because not everyone has seen that one. I don't want to ruin it for that particular
you're right.
movie.
You're right. They should watch it.
Yeah,
It's awesome though.
All right,
It's
well,
so good.
I dug Source Code. We talked a little bit about Clockwork Orange. I guess you asked date wise.
Oh man, Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like growing up in a Christian family. I don't know if it was like reading Clockwork Orange was like, oh, I'm not supposed to read this. It's so bad.
You read it before you saw the movie?
Oh yeah, I read it. I've read it multiple times. It's one of my favorite books.
Oh wow.
So I read it, and then seeing the movie, I was like, what is happening?
It's my favorite.
It is
Kubrick.
so cool.
Yeah,
Surprised you didn't bring that
so
one up.
disturbing. I didn't even think of it as science
Oh,
fiction.
it's definitely science fiction.
But it is.
Yeah. You don't think it's science fiction? What about
He doesn't think
the end
science
with his eyes and everything that they're doing with him? The
And it's
in his
definitely
mind
a different
and
world.
is that science fiction? Yes, it is. That's absolutely science fiction.
Oh, it's 100% science fiction.
You guys talk about Looper?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Looper.
We
really.
mentioned it quickly, but
we were
yeah.
talking about time travel movies, and that was one that we said kind of did it right as far as the way
really
it affected
good.
their brain. But
Yeah.
no, did you love Looper?
I did.
Okay.
I thought it was a great film. Yeah.
What was it about Looper that you just kind of set it apart from other sci-fi movies?
Just the way the story was laid out, and the way they told the story of the earlier version of the Bruce. I can't remember the character's name, but the Bruce Willis character, and just the way they showed the horror of time travel with the person getting their parts removed. Like, written in there. Just awesome. A frightening, strange version of time travel.
Yeah.
But talking about your time travel stuff, the whole time I was like, shoot off his finger, and he won't have one.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they did in Frequency.
Sam, you got another one for us?
Sci-fi movies?
Yeah.
We could do this all day.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jesus, I didn't have
Once you're on the spot.
Hey, well, no, I want to come up with a good one.
I got a Schmoeville one that's been repeating over and over
What
again. Switch gears, Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
Another perfect movie.
A perfect.
That is my
Thank you.
second favorite Star Trek movie.
Well, there it is. It's a riff off that.
Schnepp, I think you were on the show AMC Movie Talk when this was brought up. Maybe when they were talking about maybe doing a sequel.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, who wants that? I don't want. I mean, this.
I do.
You do? Don't you think? Because the first one was so good, and because it's so many years later that it's
But that's
going to
why
ruin
it's
it.
so great. No, it won't ruin it because
No?
you make it
Play into
of
the
time
con
of
type
now.
stuff?
Yeah, and it's like you just make like when they all came back, they did a new Galaxy Quest. We know that there's real aliens, but the real world doesn't. So that they have to go back.
Didn't they announce that they're
aliens
turning that
hack?
into a television series?
I heard that there's something.
I also heard that.
Something's
but I don't
going
know.
on with Galaxy Quest. They're turning that into a television series.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? Well, Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, let's talk
Time
about
travel. Time travel.
Which one? Oh, Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes is time travel.
It is.
They go
I mean,
2,000 years into the future.
True. I mean, and especially after hearing more about quantum physics and the way that things move, and you realize even more when you watch old movies like this. But the actual Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, more so in Rise, you talk about science fiction with everything that James Franco and the medicine that he's developing, and this was a movie that really could have sunk the franchise. Could have destroyed the franchise. I remember being optimistic about it because the trailers were cool, and Andy Serkis, I heard it was in, and I was all in. And then you see it, and it's just, you talk about Rupert Wyatt just really nailing the moments and setting up a great franchise. Yeah, just and that was the thing, is that everyone thought because of what the original Planet of the Apes was that the apes were the bad guys, and that was not the case. You found yourself rooting for Caesar, and you found yourself when you probably shouldn't. It's hard to say. Should you have? Should you not have? What do you think of Rise?
I thought Rise was a tremendous film, and it for the first time it was like a parallel narrative, and we did get to see it from Caesar as well as the humans. And so for Dawn, I was like, oh, now I'm kind of on board with sort of both storylines.
Right.
And it's really hard to pick a side.
Now, Mantz, man, you loved Dawn. You love it.
I love Dawn because Dawn is a superior sequel. It's like the Godfather of apes movies.
Yeah.
And I know you like the movie a lot too.
Yeah, I
because
love
we talked
it.
about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
But what I loved about Dawn of the Apes, because in Rise of the Apes, you were rooting for the apes. It was a rousing film, and you were rooting for Caesar. But Dawn was brilliant because it showed the apes and the humans to be more alike than unalike in equal measure. And just like the older films, the 5 older movies, which ended on very downbeat notes, so does Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a Shakespearean tragedy, especially the rivalry between Caesar and Koba.
It's a war film.
Yeah.
Koba is freaking
Well, and
amazing.
it's funny because we talked about this today on Movie Talk, was that I knew that they were going to push Circus for the Oscar. I knew it, and I said the only way that they probably could do it is they do it for Best Supporting Actor, and then they're doing that. Now, I know that I am in the minority. I really know that I am, but I think that this is the year he gets nominated because of Toby Kebbell. Toby Kebbell has made it possible. And Sam, I'm actually very curious for your take on this because actors have, maybe really learning more about performance capture now, and what Andy Serkis is really the pioneer of all that stuff to do with Gollum, and unless you want to say Ahmed Best, but you could say what Toby Kebbell did in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes really opened you up that it's not a one-man game, and that the actors really can have their performances come to life.
Absolutely.
Now, do you think that as an actor, do you think that Andy Serkis should be nominated or looked at to be nominated for his performance?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. If you can give Nicole Kidman an Academy Award for wearing a fake nose, why can't you give Andy Serkis an Academy Award for having dots all over him and doing the exact same performance?
No, I know you have. Wait, Schnepp. I know you have. You and I.
Wrong.
No, well, you and I have had conversations because I'm on that side, and we've had great discussions about this.
Right.
Can I hear your take on it? Because you have a very valid point as well too.
Yeah, I do. I think a fake nose and thousands of artists working on a CG character is completely different. So you're like invalidating Nicole Kidman's Oscar, first of all. Which
I will invalidate that.
Well, that's a different discussion. But I think Andy Serkis did an incredible job and is taking motion capture to the next level. But it's not the same as acting because there's so many other people involved in it. It's not just like, it's just translated and you press a button. If it was one button and you pressed it, then I would completely agree with you. But what I'm saying is there are thousands of people who are manipulating eyebrows and making the face quiver a different way that he didn't do. And that's like the director, the animation director, and all the other artists involved in the process of making the film.
Tiff?
I think I'm in between the two of you guys because I get it. And makeup artists get nominated for things. So on that side, I'm like, yeah. If they're saying that there's the version where it's just Serkis in the suit in the film and it still works. And so I'm like, okay, I think that it should be. Those people are getting nominated alongside of him because it is a team effort. Yes, he's bringing so much more performance to it than I think what happened in the past with, CG kind of stuff, even from Gollum to now. But I think it's a team effort.
Let me ask another question, and hold your answer on this because I want you to answer last. Do you guys think that Scarlett Johansson might have deserved a nomination for her work in Her?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's just her voice.
I just want to say one thing about
how do
Andy
you feel
Serkis
about
in Rise. Because Caesar was the most engaging, compelling, sympathetic character of that movie. He was the one you were rooting for. He was the heart and soul of that movie. He deserved to get nominated for a Critics' Choice Award by the Broadcast Film Critics Association, which I am a member, and I did vote for him. But his performance in Dawn of the Apes was even more fully realized, and he should absolutely be nominated. That was a performance.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're covered with stuff.
Let's hear. I want to hear. Do you think that Scarlett Johansson should have been nominated for Her?
No.
Okay. That's just. I mean, I
it's on camera performance.
Listen, and there's a lot of.
I think
a lot of people are on the same page
down.
where Schnepp is.
You have to break it all up. It's
Yeah.
like,
They'll
look,
have
if
to
it's
do that
voiceover in a film,
Yep.
cool. Or if it's like, hey, all the people who put a million dots on their face.
Maybe a separate category.
I think
All right,
it
it's going to be interesting. Nonetheless, at least people are talking about it. That's the thing. I would like to thank everybody involved today. What a great show tonight. First of all, Tiffany Smith, Alicia Malone, and
we've gone science fiction.
We've gone science fiction, and make sure that you look for that after hours show. But how about for our guests from Profiles, the Mantz Man, Scott Mantz.
Yay.
Follow him at Movie Mantz. John Schnepp, AMC Movie Talk. John, where can the good people find you?
Let me list off Logan's Run, Brazil.
Nice.
I just got a whole bunch. Zardoz, wanted to throw a little.
Zardoz! Sean Connery.
Pleasure, Black Hole. What's up?
We talked about Black Hole. Yeah.
Black Hole.
Give us some plug. Where can we find you?
Twitter, Instagram, John Schnepp, TDOSLWH. Check out my film is going to be coming out. We're locking in the release date, March 2015.
Awesome. Nice. And I'd like to thank the champ for joining us, Samm Levine, at Samm Levine. Sam, what's going on? What's the most recent? What's going on?
I'm working on that show Selfie on ABC, which hopefully will be on next week.
Samm Levine.
Crossed.
Sam, you come back sooner. This is far too long.
I'm retiring from the game.
No, you're not. No, you're not. We won't let it happen. We won't let it happen.
Thank you.
For the pit boss, for everybody, for Schmoeville, guys, man, come on. Make sure you go to iTunes and rate and comment. There are thousands of you guys watching this show. Just get us to 1,000 comments and likes. We're almost there. It helps a lot. Thank you so much for the Schmoes Know Movies Show. I'm me. Peace out, Mother F's.
Bye.
From producers Kristian Harloff, Mark Ellis, and the entire Schmoes Know crew, we'd like to thank you for listening to the Schmoes Know Movie Show. Promotional consideration provided by the following: schmoesknow.com. Special thanks to Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, the author of Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, in stores now. To watch or listen to other Schmoes episodes, get movie news, and join the conversation, be sure to visit schmoesknow.com. I'm the Pit Boss, and this has been a presentation of Schmoes Know.